Greetings, guys. Greetings. So sorry. You're thinking like, oh, she's late. Actually, I was here. But the producer had so much. She's got so much to say. She's done half a chat a lot. Shelley Titmus. You'll see her throughout the show. Greetings and welcome to Real Talk with Simply Deez. Tuesday, the 3rd of February already. So if you're not aware, this year is going to gallop at a speed. It's important that we look after ourselves to the max. Producer will let me know when our first guest is in the house. I'm pretty sure she will be pretty soon. I'm going to switch things up a little bit today. Don't ask me how, but I'll make it up as I go along. We've got a lot going on this year, Simply Deez. Is that Shelley Titmus, producer? Is she in the house? Is she around? Has she stopped gassing?
Me? No, not me.
I think the guys are going, the masses out there are going like, I swear we've seen her today already. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you're thinking like, yeah, what, do you know what, Shell? We have to think, because they probably think this is a replay or something. We have to like try and do something so that they realise this is live. This isn't a replay from earlier on. This is yeah, our monthly show. So much is going on, so much information out there. Shell, our first guest is going to be on pretty soon. How can you, we're going to talk sort of like throughout the show, and because I'm on my phone, I've got people messaging what I want for the masses out there, and if somehow, you know, when you're sort of like off and you can promote, I want to know who we have watching that's the furthest away. The furthest away. Ideally, I want those overseas. Can you hear me? Overseas. Just in the chat. Where are you? Where are you watching from? All those awesome guests we've got coming on today. Shelley and producer will have the link in the chat. Please share with your friends, share with your contacts. We want to reach as far and wide as possible, because you'll find all the messages. There's always a thread. It's not intentional. It's just the way it unfolds. Yeah. There is always information that your friend, family, work colleague will say, oh, I wish I'd have known that, or why didn't you tell me that, or can you pass me that information? And sometimes it's weeks, maybe months after something, that person who was on your show. No word of a lie. Shelley, is our guest here? Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, she is. Okay, I don't want to waste any more of Yasmin's valuable time. So bring her on. Yasmin in. Yasmin!
Hello!
Yo. Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm good. I'm listening in to you and Shelley having a great banter. It's funny.
This is, if you remember, and I'm trying to, when I say trying to remember, because that's how quickly time goes, I've got a feeling it wasn't last year you were on the show, but I could be wrong. Was it last year?
It was last year. We talked about seed guardians that came to Luton. Was it last year?
Yeah, no, I've got a feeling. I don't know why I've got it in my head. It was 24, but I could be wrong. It might have been 25.
Oh. No, because we did Seed Guardians in 24 and 25, and we came to Hockwell Ring.
That's right.
You were right. It was in 24, but we toured on after in 25. So that's why I'm a little bit like, dates.
Don't worry. Thank you so much for taking time out to come on and just let us know a little bit about you, award-winning and all of that jazz. I could, and this is what I don't do, I don't know if you remember from before, quite easily I ask for bios. That's so that I can post on social media so that people can look and see the guests I'm having on. But for me to like read through, and Yasmin's this, and why am I doing that when I've got you? When I've got you here, it's for you to share with the masses out there. And I've just said, if you heard, we want to reach as far as possible today. So, you know, we have had somebody from Malawi.
Wow.
Amazing. Yeah, Africa. Do you know what I mean? I've got people in America, and we've had people from different places. So we ask people to share, because you just never know who might be watching the show. So with that, I will say no more for the moment. Yasmin, please just let actually. Look at that, November 24. Thank you, Shel. I was thinking, don't get me wrong, because time goes so quick, and I imagine it must go even faster for yourself. But before we get into where you're at now, like an onion, and I'm sure I did this before, I need to peel back some layers so that we, myself included, as the audience, get a little bit of information about you and sort of like where you're coming from, to know where you are now and what's influencing and driving you, if that's okay.
Yeah, so yeah, it's great to be back on here, because I remember our conversation. It was like we were just talking and chatting.
Exactly, because it's never an interview. It's just chit. It's just conversation. It's just conversation.
So yeah, I am based in Oxford, and I ran and founded Mandala Theatre Company. Mm-hmm. I use theatre as a way of making a difference in the world. So it's about social justice. Every play that we create, every place that we go to, it's about wanting to create stories that people listen to, question, talk to us about, that are challenging what's going on in the world that's unfair and unjust. And we mainly work with performers, actors, and young people from the global majority. So ethnically diverse, from Afro-Caribbean, African, South Asian, East Asian, Arabic backgrounds. And we do work with white working class actors as well, because it's stories that aren't told so much. You know, when you go to the theatre, often it's mainstream stories. It's not stories about people like us. And so every story that we tell, we also develop it in terms of talking to people with lived experience, running workshops with them. And I suppose it's because my background is I'm mixed race, Indian and English. My dad was Indian, my mum was English. And growing up in the UK, and I grew up in a really white area, and I always felt like an outsider. I always felt like, I didn't quite fit in. And now, over time, that's become something I really love, because I feel like I can understand different cultural perspectives. I also have experienced ways where I have been made to feel like I don't belong. And obviously, with all that's going on in the news about refugees and immigration and all of that, I feel it's really poignant, and I think we need to be talking about all of this. So yeah, I've been in theatre my entire life. From age 16, I did went to sixth form college, did drama, loved it. Managed to get into drama college to do a degree in theatre. Wow. And then from there, I've been very lucky that my entire life I have earned my living as either an actor or a director, or director and writer, lecturer.
Wow.
And it's something I'm really passionate, telling stories that make people feel and think about things in a different way.
Oh, you because I will talk forever. I will talk, and I want it to be about you and the work and everything that you're doing. So this production, Shemiza, I'd seen it advertised, and it so happens I'm doing something with Shemiza anyway. And, you know, that's how we've kind of like linked, and we've kind of, you are where you are now. And I'm like, Thursday afternoon, middle of why? Tell the guys, firstly, before we get into that, tell us what it is that you're bringing to Luton, and that's next Thursday, I think, the 12th of February.
We are actually here the next Wednesday and Thursday in Luton. We're at Berry Park with CYCD.
Okay.
And an invited audience, and we're at Luton Live. I mean, but people can get, if they're in that area, they could probably get along. But we're trying to get people to come to Luton Library Theatre, because that's where there's going to be Gabby Price. I don't know if you know her, but a lot of the groups, like the Women's Aid group, the Somali Women's group, the Women's Centre, we did some workshops and we shared a rehearsed reading and got their feedback on the show, and they loved it and cried and laughed, and they said, we've got to be in Luton for longer. So it was all thanks to Gabby and Shamiza that we're doing this show at Luton Library. And that one is not in the afternoon, it's in the evening. It's in the evening, I'm sure.
Which one? No, the library's 2:30.
God, look at me. I need to go and check on my, I think I might have said the wrong date, the wrong time. This time I was on a radio show. Anyway, go on the website, because Luton Library Theatre has it on their website. So it's a play called Incarcerating Eve. What does that mean? It's about the way women have been imprisoned, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, throughout time, throughout the patriarchy, the time where we have been dominated, where women's voices have been silenced, where women's reproductive rights have been given to the ownership of men. And this play is not anti-men. It's about the feminine principle within everybody coming into balance with the masculine principle. And at the moment, we live in a really militarized masculine world. Look at our leaders. Look at what's going on in the world. And it's because we're out of balance. So the play has stories from historical perspectives as well as stories of now. It does deal with quite dark and deep things. So there is some stories looking at domestic abuse and sexual abuse, but they are not graphic. And also there are loads of moments of dance and song and fun and women empowering each other. And it's such a, I feel it's a play that people really need, and everybody needs to talk about. You know, look at the fact that 1 in 3 women in the world experience violence every day.
I saw that figure.
It's, you know, you've only got to think about Sudan, Palestine, Iran, Afghanistan. UK has its own ways of silencing us. You know, we're not in a place where there are enough opportunities for us to have that power to be ourselves. And I talk about spirituality because religions have also distorted a lot of the essence of the religions, which were not patriarchal. But before some of the religions, there was spirituality where they looked at the mother figure, the goddess mother. And it's been suppressed. So this play has had a lot of discussion with local groups. And as I said, bringing it to Luton and the women in Luton, we absolutely loved it. We worked with older Asian women at CYCD. We worked with, as I said, the Somali women's group, Women's Aid group. So there's women that have experienced and lived experience of what we're talking about. And they were really wanting us to tell these stories, because obviously you've got to be careful. You don't want to trigger people, but that we have got trigger warnings, but at the same time, these things need to be felt and heard and talked about and not covered over. So I hope people will come and see it, and I hope that they will feel ultimately it's a piece about empowerment and about unity and, you know, women embracing each other and having men as allies because they also feel this way about society. So that's the play. But
Wowza.
I am worried about that I've got the time wrong.
Shelley, producer, can you just put the flyer, because I've sent Shelley the flyer, and we're going to be putting all that information. As you can see, it's on the ticker that's going across the screen now. We've also got our different sort of like, you know, like Facebook, Instagram and TikTok also as well, and we'll be sharing it on all of our platforms. And we've got another show next week. We'll be, you know, advertising it on there also as well. But I think there it is.
Yes,
so that's next Thursday. So check out the time.
Check out the time. I got it wrong.
4:30. 2:30 till 4:30. I'm sure people, for them to book anyway, Yasmin, they'll get that information from somewhere and they will know the correct time. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to, they'll know the correct time. That's okay, darling. That's okay. Can men come along?
Of course.
I'm just throwing it out there because sometimes people will think something and be like, no, it's not for the guys, it's just for the women. And it's a case of I personally would want guys to go, because there's so many things and messages that a guy could go along and maybe in a situation and maybe seeing something. When you're in it, you don't see it, but maybe seeing something else might just actually.
I'm going to look at the, or speak
I
up.
might look at, or maybe it could be your friend. Do you know what I mean? It could be your best mate, or it could be a brother, or even a pair of whatever. And it could then, so there's so many different ways I can see how that can help. Absolutely,
yeah, no, we
incredible.
want men there. Men come as well, definitely. Not this
oh my gosh.
You know, we want you to be speaking about it as well. So
you're something else. How do you kind of I don't know, are you taking this over different places around the UK or?
Yeah, so we're opening in Oxford, going to London, Bristol, Luton, Slough, Liverpool, Newcastle, Norwich, Salford.
Oh wow! Is that over the year then? Is that must be taken, or is it not taken up the year? Is there something else?
It's small. It's between February and April.
Really?
Because otherwise you're paying. You can't afford to keep pulling them back in and out.
Of course.
The tour will happen between February and April, and then it's finished. But we do film it, so often because it's really well filmed, it will be edited. We sometimes share it, so we've shared some of our plays as films with universities, and we do Q&As. But obviously, seeing it as theatre is much better.
It's sort of I'm just trying to think who there's so many people. I'm thinking, I know they don't know about this because they've not spoken about it. So where would I don't know, in terms of sort of like advertising, getting this out to the masses. Obviously, I know you sort of said like the Women's Centre, probably Azalea and all of those organisations.
Yeah,
Stepping Stones and
I don't know all of those women's places, but I know that Gabby and Shamiza has been the women's aid group has been getting it out, and there's going to be they'll be on the panel. So Shamiza, Gabby, and somebody else
Deborah.
on the panel, Deborah, and I think that's going to be so interesting because it will be about talking about the themes and having that conversation with the audience. So of course there'll be the artists there, but as you know, myself, but I want us to talk about those things. So I really hope the word gets out. And this play, you know, the actors in it, they are from all different backgrounds. So we've got a South Asian actor, we've got an actor with African heritage, Congolese. Sorry, I'm having a cough.
It's okay.
And an Arabic actor with Arabic heritage. Sorry, I'm gonna choke for a bit, so I might get you to talk for a minute.
Don't you worry about that, love. Let me bring on that producer woman, Shelley. So if you remember right, Shelley's not only a producer, she's also a director in Simply Deez. Shell, from the different things that we do, what do you think?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it was where you had the seed guardians before. Yes, Trish, it was. She asked the question that was it that one? Yes, it was.
Yes, it was Trish. She went a lot, yeah.
Yeah. With the kind of, as you were saying, the kind of themes that you actually do, it's never just a theatre show. It's never just a production for the sake of it. There is that big story behind it, and it is so well done. That how do you actually then go through those kind of conversations? And we were talking on the lunchtime show, because it's Time to Talk Day coming up on Thursday, and it's the theme this year is the brave conversations. And that is what your productions are. It's those big conversations, and how do you approach it in a way that, yes, could be stressful for some people, could bring up emotions, but still actually have that conversation in a way that does come across, that you can actually get different sides of the story, or the different thoughts, because so many people will come into a situation and say, oh yeah, because I've seen that poster, seen that flyer, and you've kind of half said what the story's about, that's what I'm going to go and see today, and you don't necessarily will, and your own then pick up. Yeah,
totally, because the stories are a way of looking at those situations and issues in a way that is, I think it has to touch people's hearts. And you know, that's why sometimes it can be quite hard, because if people have had similar experiences, they can feel moved, but also they can feel like they're not alone. Like, there are so many others that share this, and by feeling that sense of I'm not the only one, we can help each other, we can support each other. I think it makes it easier for those conversations to be had, you know, because just talking about yourself is really difficult. Whereas if you can talk in relation to a character that's gone through something similar to what you've gone through, you can talk about the character and the situation, and you don't have to talk about you. I mean, some people choose to. On the R&D, God, quite a few women, the first hands that went up, and they were crying, but they were going, this is my story. It's happened to me. And even though it was hard, we asked, well, did you not want to see this? And they were no, I want this story to be told so people understand what I've been through. So, you know, that won't be the case with every place we go to, but it does make people want to express their feelings, want to discuss the subject matter, which I don't think they would in a sort of dry conversation. No. You know what? It's about the heart.
Yeah. Yasmin, I'm just thinking, say, for instance, like the Women's Centre, Stepping Stones, all that, are there going to be people there that, say, for instance, I don't know whether somebody's triggered or whether somebody actually wants to access more information, are they going to be there to be able to give out information, or there'll be you know, that sort of stuff?
That's why the stalls are there. So there's going to be, Gabby has organised different groups that support people, so they can be there. There'll be you know, flyers, information, people to talk to. So it's not like you come in, and we don't have this all over where we're going. We try to, and we will also have a series of helplines that people can go to wherever we are. So, you know, that people will always be supported. But I feel like Luton, because of Shamiza and Gabby's bringing together. They've gone beyond, and they're bringing so many groups that can
Brilliant.
and do support people. So it's really helpful.
Excellent. Another thing I'm gonna throw out. Sign.
Say that again.
Sign in terms of sign language.
I know.
I'm just asking because I'm just in my head. I'm just thinking. Yeah,
I know. The problem is we didn't get the funding for the tour, but we managed to make it happen. And
gotcha.
So, I mean, I would love to have every show signed, but it is about the cost and something, you sort of in each place. It would have been great to have one signed show. So I do hear you, and I do appreciate it, because I would love it to be accessible to everyone. But unfortunately, no, it's not signed. Sorry.
Okay, that was just no. I'm just throwing everything at you, girl. While I got you, I'm just throwing everything.
In my ideal world, if we got, I think that's where the funders need to go, because we believe everybody should have a signer. We're going to give you this additional money for signers. Then we would all do it all the time. But it's us finding additional money. But anyway, no excuses. Hopefully the next one.
Oh my gosh, excellent. So I know the flyer's probably gone off now, but we will be posting all of that. As I said, the information is on there. So Incarcerating Eve, that's Thursday, 12th of February, Luton Library, 2:30, isn't it? 2:30. Till 4:30. And how much is that? Did that say £12? Is it £12? How much is it?
Look on this, because I think it is.
Yeah, it's the £12, and then the concessions are £8.
£12.
Is that a lot?
I can't say.
No, that's
because
do you know what? It's a hard one.
Yeah.
The reason I say that, as in like £12, people are like going like, well, £12 is just whatever that is. And it's just, in terms of sort of like, obviously the organisations and things that you're talking about, and potentially the people that they have coming through those doors. I used to volunteer at the All Women's Centre many years ago, and there
are 50 tickets that have been paid
allocated
for and allocated. So there will be. This is for Gabby and the groups who will be enabling.
Great.
So it's not, obviously for the public, and concessions is £8, and then full price is 12, which for most theatre isn't a lot. Not at all.
But as in, like, because we're talking the subject matter and everything like that.
Totally.
Once, do you know what I mean? There's people that can access that are really, truly and going to benefit. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, so
you're doing such amazing work. Yeah.
No, that's so important for us, for Mandala. We really try and make things accessible. We're going to community centres, because sometimes a theatre is not the place for people to go. So we always go to theatres, community centres. We try to go to schools. We're going to universities. I mean, this time we're not going in a school, but we are going to Salford University and Oxford Brookes University to their Human Rights Festival. So for us, it's again tapping into the audiences, and that's why the show in Bury Park is particularly, it's an invited audience. So all those women are gonna come and have it just as an invitation.
That is amazing.
If one of the things I've just sent you, when you were saying about having help lines and things available, I've just sent it to you on Facebook Messenger. And I was going to say to you now, you've got Hub of Hope. It's an app and it's a website, and you look up whatever the concern that you've got with your mental health. So it's got deadlines and it's got all sorts, and it's all the charities and projects put all their details down on there. So anyone else watching as well, if you want to put your details down, it's free. If you actually want to use it, it's free to find these places for them to help.
Amazing. Is that national?
That's national, yes.
National.
You put your postcode in, and it will come up with those specific kind of things that you put in the search engine for your postcode. It will come up with whoever's the nearest.
Right.
It's even got a thing that's just for children and just for adults as well. So
that's so helpful, because rather than us having to go, which one should we do?
Yeah.
Giving it to us. Thank you.
I was just going to say, Yasmin, I know sort of like you're such a busy woman, but if there's anybody at all, because next Tuesday we have a lunchtime show which Shelley and Cecile run every Tuesday lunchtime. So it's like 12 till half 12, 1 o'clock. But if you wanted to, yourself or anybody wanted to come on and plug, it's a different audience, it's daytime, lunchtime, and you wanted to do that, that is open to yourselves also as well. Just thinking of what's next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we're getting ready in Bristol. So it may be that our comms person, Mariam, could come on, but she'll talk about obviously it in a very different way because she's not as central to the piece. But I'll talk to her because she's great to have on as well. Yeah, somebody different, something. Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah.
So yeah, so I'll hopefully I'll talk to her tomorrow and I'll say she only works 2 days a week and Tuesday isn't a work day. But if she's up for it, hopefully. Yeah, she could be anywhere. She could be in her house and she just say a couple of sentences and it's just another offer there for you anyway. Amazing. Thank you so much. I love chatting to you and thank you for so much support, and thank you for putting it right on the flyer, because I was on the lunchtime show with Laura. Was that with you? It was Luton. It was a different one, and I definitely said the wrong time, but I did. Might have been BBC Three Counties or something. No, it wasn't. Don't worry, their platform's not as big as ours. Don't worry. Is it, Shell? They're only talking to a handful of people. We're talking to the masses. Exactly. This is where it counts. Exactly. Oh, you got it, Yasmin. Give me that, sis. Give me that. Oh, excellent. Oh my gosh. Going to do my utmost, and I'm sure we're going to be putting it out there anyway, and see if a group of us will come along on the next Thursday, because it sounds absolutely incredible. We're very mindful that life is a roller coaster, that we're all in different boats, but there's certain things that just because we haven't said it, we've actually done a few workshops, haven't we, Shell? Online workshops about this topic, and people have opened up and didn't know that, because it's something that we don't actually say, don't actually share, but something may have happened or whatever the case might be. So yeah, we support you wholeheartedly. If there's anything else in the meantime, Yasmin, just, you've got my details, or even through Mariam, just message me and we'll, whatever it is, we'll do what we can to help you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I really appreciate it. And I really look forward to meeting you next Thursday. I'll tell you what, you better make sure, because we're going to hug and squeeze you so tight, you won't be breathing, girl. You'll be like, oh, and I'll be like, oh, so nice. We love it. Love coming to Luton. Oh, brilliant. All right then, darling, you take care. Look after yourself, and we'll speak soon. All right. Yeah. Bye. Take care. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye bye. Oh wow. When I say unintentional, I mean it, because it's only when Yasmin's talking now, and I know this. We've got authors. We've got a bunch of authors that are coming on tonight, and obviously we've got a director, we've got plays. It's all that
whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, to say.
we're going to be touching again. I know we are. And it wasn't, it's just how the cards have unfolded today. And do you know what? Is Yasmin gone? She gone. She must
She has, yes. Yeah.
Well, Yasmin, get back. I meant to ask her something.
Oh.
What I've done, I've got, you know, the cards that you
Oh,
get from
right,
wherever.
yes.
I've numbered them. So if we can get her back, message her. I can't, because if I come out, I'm going to get cut off and on.
I'll try, yeah.
Give me a number 1 till 6, Shell. Come on, give me a number 1 to 6.
3.
3. So bearing in mind, Shelley don't know, bearing in mind, all I've done is number them. And number 3, she doesn't know what it says. I don't know. Can you see that? It says, think, be positive.
Wow. There's a reminder for me right now. Yep.
Well, this is what I'm hoping. Don't ask me. These things just come to me. I just saw them and I'm, oh, let me do this. And what does that drop anything in your head? When I say drop, I don't mean it like that, but I meant just as in like, does that kind of...
After I was talking about my PMDD diagnosis on the show earlier, on the lunchtime show, that, yeah, it is the positive that I need to be thinking more positive about, because I can get to the point where it's like, oh, I'm going through it again this month, but I'm better than I was when I was first going through it. So if you think back through the 2 years, I'm handling it better. I'm finding ways to handle it better. So yes.
So giving yourself that, what we don't do.
Yes. Pat on the back.
That, you know, a little pat on the back, or just like come on, girl. Instead of sort of like, what was it somebody said about how we talk to ourselves is so important. As in like, oh, you silly moo, or I don't know, whatever it might be. It's we're talking negatively to us. We might be getting that anyway, and we're then adding on that. So it's a case of talking to ourselves kinder.
Yeah.
And just being kinder. And it might be tiny little things, but it does make a difference.
Yeah. It really does, because with the PMDD, you're always bad on yourself. You'll always turn in yourself and tell yourself off, and it's the nastiness that you do then start thinking. So yeah, it is easy to do.
Okay, the show's called RealTalk. Nastiness. I mean, I don't know. Just with whatever you can share, obviously. But yeah. When you say nastiness, I'm like thinking like, well, I don't know.
Because it's the 2 weeks leading up to a period, naturally your body get the bloatedness. Yeah. I'll put on a pair of trousers, or especially jeans, because jeans is always the worst thing to put on, isn't it? So you put your jeans on and I can see that I've got the pot belly. So I will change clothes about 4 or 5 different times, and I'm only going out to see my mate for coffee or something, you know, it's nothing. I'm not going out, but I will then be bad with myself and say, look, just look at the state of you, kind of thing. And almost argue with myself, do I still go out because I don't look right? You'll go through stuff like that. Or I'll get angry with myself because I've got angry about something. So whether it be someone's had a comment and it's a normal comment, but the way I was feeling, I took it wrong, then I'll start having a go at myself because I'm taking it negatively when it wasn't supposed to be negatively. Why are you thinking like that, kind of thing?
It's just
and then you get the whole spiral thing. And then even when I then starting to feel better, so the period comes and all of a sudden the mood changes in me, and I'll then go through a bit of negativity and apologizing to people because I acted a certain way, even though those people then say you don't need to apologize, but I need to apologize. I need to clear my head, kind of thing, for it. So people around me, my closest people around me, have actually then turned around and said, you are doing a lot better, both physically and mentally, with how I'm doing things. So you just have to keep reminding yourself of that thing when you're feeling rough. That, yes, I am feeling rough, but I'm better at coping with it, or I'm better at it than I was before.
I'm sitting down and I'm listening, and I kind of know you, and I'm like, I'm knackered. It shows real talk, and I'm so the drain of, you know, just getting on with everyday life. And don't get me wrong, everything's not all hunky-dory and it's not all of that kind of jazz at all. But then you've added on God knows how many layers with this.
Yeah. I mean, it's even to the point where, you do have people that have got depression that will then say it, but more so for me, it's, I kind of have to force myself to have a bath. I will quite easily just kind of do the bare minimum. Brush your teeth, brush your hair, a bit of a flannel, and yeah. Because, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything special, so I'll just do that. So sometimes when I'm not feeling right, it's the whole right from that point all the way through to even before I've got out the door. I've got to work out in my head, right, okay, if I wear that, I feel comfortable. Which is quite often when you've seen me recently, if I've gone out, because I've never really gone out recently, but yeah, when I've gone out, I've got trousers and a baggy shirt on. That's my comfortable, look quite decent kind of attire. And the trousers I've got are less cake waist anyway, so yeah. But that's my go-to if I'm not feeling so great. But then when I'm feeling okay, you get to the point where I was wearing that dress.
The dresses?
Yeah, I did wear the dress.
Rocking it.
And I have watched, I've looked at myself and thought, wow. But yeah.
Well, as in that's not what you see when you.
Yeah.
Yeah, get it.
What I see when I'm in it, and I'm kind of like, it's an imposter syndrome kind of thing. It's like, wow. No. But then when I was in it, and then I think it helped because my cousins knew that I never wear dresses, and I'd already said, be warned, I'm wearing a dress. I'm definitely going to wear a dress. I'm not going to take a change of clothes with me.
That means you've got to wear it.
Yeah. So when we walked into the pub before the wedding, that sounds bad. That's the way our family is, sorry. But when we went into the pub before the wedding, there was a lot of comments. There was a lot of, oh my God, you look amazing.
And how did you feel?
Trish, that's the clean version. I've got a not so.
Well, do you know what? Thanks, Trish.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I wanted, the show is, guys, seriously, the show is interactive, you know that, but please, it's not just us talking for the sake of talking. We need to know kind of like how crazy we are, or how actually, because what you're talking, it reminded me of COVID.
Yeah.
Where you going? Ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. You do a video call and
don't need to be
okay, and then you haven't got anything on.
Why do you need to be? Do you know what I mean? You know, it's not good to be showering every day. The water isn't great here. What you're doing? So, but yeah, I'm sure this is one of those things, and we throw this out there. And you know, obviously, you've got a whole show to be commenting, guys. Please do. If you get it,
yeah.
If you get it, that doesn't mean there's something wrong. It's sometimes it's like, okay, so that was like, I can get away with another day. I don't need to.
I had a video call with someone and they said, oh, your hair looks nice. Have you just had it done? I said, no, I blow dried it. And it was like, wow, don't blow dry my hair all that often, do I? Recently. It's down and it dries while it's down.
Trish, I'm so glad you're watching, and obviously I know being a teacher and all of that jazz, I'm not sure whether or not you'd be able to, probably not the 2:31 at the library, but I don't know. We'll have to find out about the one at the Berry Park.
Is a lunchtime one as well. Yeah.
Is it? Are they both lunchtime then? Oh, I thought Berry Park might have been in the evening. This was the library one was in the.
No, I had a look. It's
okay.
1:15. It starts.
And that, I think she said that's invited guests. But anyway, well, you'll see that's very interesting. Tell you what, Trish, because you're sort of like one of our, whatever the word is, anti-she, I need you to give me a number, but not number 3. Between 1 and 6, missing out number 3. Call a number and I'll give you a card. I've got to save 3. We're including T-she, that's 1, 2. I've got 1 card. So Trish, because you're on, pick a number, love, but not number 3, because it's gone. Shelley took that one. I couldn't find any more. I'm sure there's more, but I wasn't. It just thinged, and I thought, oh, do you know what? I think I've got that many guests with Shell. And I thought, yeah. Is she writing back, or is she thinking about it? Have we got any guests in the wings? Number 5. Okay, yeah. Trish, who do you think you are? Number 5. Let's have a little look. Bearing in mind, I don't know. Oh, Trish will be. I do that anyway. That says go the extra mile.
Oh. And it doesn't mean on a plane, does it? Because
that's Trish. That's it. That's all you need to do with that one. And she's gone. Trish, does that mean anything to you, love? Go the extra mile. It could mean so many different things to so many different people. If you are out there watching, drop in the chat, what does go the extra mile mean to you? Trish, let us know, what does it mean to you? Have I got any guests?
Yes, you've got Heather. I've got Heather waiting.
Oh, have I now? Well, yes. Let's bring Heather on, shall we?
I'll wait until you've got a screen up. Yes, there we go.
Oh. Hi, splendid. Heather! Hey! Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
Splendid. So
I wasn't expecting to come in till 8:30, but hey, I'm here anyway.
Oh, really? I did say to Marcia, if yourself and I think it's Gilroy, if you guys could come in for 8. Do not worry. If you haven't been watching or listening, it's very informal. You're not on for an interview, just in case you thought you were.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
We're having a conversation. We're going to have a conversation and a chat.
Sounds good.
So across the screen, we are going to be posting your details of your book.
Mm-hmm.
So is it Heather Phillips?
Heather Phillips, yes. Do you want me to change my name?
Sorry, have we spelled it wrong?
Do you want me to change my name on the screen?
No. No,
okay.
You're fine. You're absolutely fine. So we are beaming live on Facebook and also on YouTube as well. So during our conversation, if there's comments that come up, they'll be put on the screen. If there's something that somebody's asking you, hopefully, if you don't mind, I'll get you to answer that. But what I generally do is, I'll be honest with you, I've got your bio, which is great. And I could read your bio now. Why am I going to read your bio when I've got you here? I've got you here. So what I tend to do, I like to peel it kind of back. We're going to get to where you're at now, but you didn't land where you are now. I didn't land where I am now. There's been a journey. So can we kind of peel it back? Maybe to let's do school, shall we? If that's okay. How was school for you?
Okay, so school, primary school, I think my earliest memory was in being in reception. So bearing in mind, I am quite old, so it's very different to how it is today.
Excuse, okay. The show, in case you didn't know, is called RealTalk. It's called RealTalk.
Okay, fair
enough. And we talk anything, everything. Once people don't cuss and all that sort of stuff. Apart from that, because we're beaming to masses, there's always somebody like, oh my gosh, what Heather said, it's me, or I can relate to that, or what have you. So when you say exactly.
So
when you say, oh, what's old?
We're old.
Come on.
I've just had my 61st birthday. I'm a senior.
Oh, you just pipped me. You pipped me by a few months. Congratulations, darling.
I'm getting concessions and everything.
In it? I had to go to the
great.
doctor the other day and she goes, you pay for a prescription? I said, yeah. She goes, no, you don't. I said, do I not? And I'm like,
yes.
Okay, I don't mind picking up these 3 items then. Woo!
That's fine. Okay, so maybe somebody can relate to my reception memories. So when we were in reception, my reception teacher was Mrs. Thurkle, and I remember her very vividly. And every afternoon we used to have a sleep. We had blue beds, and we'd sleep on the blue beds. And Mrs. Thurkle was my favourite teacher. And obviously, as I grew through primary school, she became somebody very important to me. She was very kind. She had a lovely Scottish accent. I remember that really, really vividly. And she was just really just kind, empathetic. She gave me little jobs to do. I just remember just feeling really happy from a very, very young age at school. As I progressed through school, I always enjoyed school. Loved the work. Loved doing, when you used to do projects for homework and bring them in, I'd always be going the extra mile and just, I just loved school.
Your parents must have just been like, God dang.
I loved it. I loved it. So I left school and I didn't go to university at that point. I got a job as a nursery teacher. Always wanted to work with children. Grew up as part of the church. And in church, I was a Sunday school teacher. I taught the younger children in church. Okay. And that kind of gave me that sense that this is something that I wanted to do. So I went and did nursery teaching. And then, am I telling you my life story? Shall I carry on?
Of course.
Okay. Yeah. So then I got married. I was 21 when I got married. I've got 2 children and I've got 2 grandchildren as well. And we spent the first 4 years of my oldest son's life in South America. We were working with a church organisation. My husband was working with a church organisation, and I ended up teaching English to young people in Venezuela, which has been in the news recently for sad reasons, unfortunately. So we're in Venezuela for a while, came back, and that's when I went to university and said, okay, this is it. I need to do what I believe is the thing that I'm meant to do. So I went to university as a mature student, as they say, and first started teaching in a school in Walsall, quite a big primary school in a quite affluent area of Walsall, and then moved over to Erdington in Birmingham, and then over to the east side of Birmingham in Yardley, which is where I was deputy head teacher, and executive head. So that's my life story in a nutshell.
So that sounds rather nice, rather lovely. Any obstacles, any bumps along the way?
Many. Just it's life, isn't it? Life has always got its bumps. I think the obstacles were, in terms of the professional obstacles, some were man-made, were personal made. I didn't, I suffered really with confidence, or not confidence, but believing that this was something that I could do. And
this
I think
is important for you to talk that.
Yeah, because I think that for me, there weren't very many black role models in education. When I was first a head teacher in particular, I would very often be the only black head teacher in the room. And so that took a lot of courage and a lot of building myself up to go in and believe that I was an equal with other people. So that was one of my biggest obstacles, but the biggest thing that I overcame, I think, just to, you put your big girl's pants on and you go in and this is me, this is what I do it really well. I might have a bit of a meltdown afterwards, but actually in that moment it was, okay, this is who I am and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Some of the obstacles, having balancing the work, having young children and wanting to give as much as possible to the job, but also not neglecting my family, not neglecting my young children who were at school, obviously at the time as well. But I think
yeah, when I wrote the book, it was to really, as I was reflecting, I never regretted a day. You know, some of the days were hard, very, very hard. The job of head teacher is not for the faint-hearted, as I say. But when I look back now, it's the best thing that I ever did. I absolutely loved it. I loved the thousands of children, you know, over 20 years that came through the school. Just loved being their head teacher and knowing that I was making a difference to them. So yeah, it has its challenges, but absolutely has its joys, for sure.
I'm going to get you back, but I'm going to meet you anyway. I know that already. I know that already. Who writes a book? Where did that come from? Teaching book? Is that because you love books, or where did that? How did that come about?
The book came about. So I was reminiscing over the weekend because I had my launch on Saturday, and lots of people came from all.
Congratulations!
Thank you. It was an amazing event. Lots of people came from, you know, from my childhood friends to people that have known me along the way, that I haven't seen for many years. But I remember it was 2016, and my chair of governors and I, it wasn't. To be fair, I don't think it's unfair to say that the east side of Birmingham and where my school was is one of the most highly deprived areas in Birmingham, very, very challenging. And, you know, some of the things I had to deal with and some of the stories that I could tell. My chair of governors at the time said, you know, you really should write a book because you are learning lessons, you are making a difference, you should write a book. And that was in 2016. And it was a bit of a pie in the sky thought, but then, you know, I'm busy, I'm getting on with my work, and the idea went out of my head. And then as I was thinking about retiring, coming towards retirement, should I say, I thought, okay, I need to write this book before I retire because I want to leave something for people that are coming behind me.
Wow.
So that was 2022. And I worked with a coach, and I remember I spoke with Viv, my coach, and I said, I'm going to write a book. I need to write a book. And so, you know, she coached me through it. But again, because I was working, it just didn't take off. So I retired in July 2024, and there was no excuse. I've got to get this book done. I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and I knew exactly why I wanted to do it. Mm-hmm. And so I just, put my head down, started writing, found it really, really difficult because I'm not a writer. I don't know how to write, but I think I am now. But at the time, it was just like, this was just a lot of random thoughts. Things weren't coming together cohesively at all. So I put it down. I thought, I can't do this. And then I think, you know, somebody said earlier, I was just listening earlier, the imposter syndrome, it just comes up all the time, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And at that point, I was like, who do I think I am writing a book? I'm just this girl grown up in south of Birmingham. Who do I think I am? I'm nothing special. I've got nothing interesting to say. I've got nothing unique to say. But still, there was this thing inside me that's saying, you've got to tell your story. So a couple of old colleagues, one I think is coming on here tonight, Herman, he was one, and he just said, Heather, you've just got to tell your story. You've got a story to tell. And Herman was the person who wrote my reference for when I was a deputy head teacher. So that was in 2003. So he just said, you've got to tell your story. And so I decided to invest in, to work with a book coach. So she calls herself the book midwife, which I thought was, you know, like a quirky name. So I called her up, and she said, okay, really happy to work with you, but we work from scratch. Whatever you've done in the past, whatever you've written is irrelevant. And I'm like, are you joking? I've spent hours on this.
Do you know how long it's taken me?
Exactly. But in actual fact, you know, I spent a day with her, and at the end of that day, it was crystal clear how I was going to set out my book, what I was going to write. The key thing was two things that I took from that session. One was planning. So spending time planning each chapter means that it will flow. And the second one was write every day. If you're going to write a book, you need to write every day, not every now and again when you feel like it. So that's how the book came about. It was, you know, the passion of all of those years, but actually, okay, get your head down, get it done. because you've got something to say.
Well done, you. So when did you actually give birth to this book? When did it actually?
About, what's the date today? It's February. So end of December.
Oh, wow.
So I finished it, went to Marcia, to the publishing house just before Christmas, got proofs back over Christmas, and exactly on the 12th of January, printing started.
Really?
So yeah, so a couple of weeks ago I got my box of books. Not even a couple of weeks ago.
I know the whole of
it's
that,
just so
that feeling, because
so exciting.
During COVID, with Marcia, so I know her very, very well. And even when I'm sort of like looking at the book to proofread it, and my name's on it, and everyone, and I'm like, it still doesn't register.
It doesn't. It's a very surreal feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there are two things. I think it's surreal because you can't believe that you've done it, and I've got it here, and I kept, for about a week I just kept walking around with the proof. I'd take it up to bed, I'd bring it back downstairs. My son said, "Why do you keep flicking through the book? You know what's in it." But you just can't believe that you've written the book. But then it's also that vulnerability again, isn't it? Because you're thinking, okay, and I think that's what hit me on Saturday, was that I had 70 people come into this event.
Wow.
Lots of excitement around it. And I'm thinking, but this is really vulnerable. This, they may not like it. What if I'm a fraud? Who do I think I am? All these people are going to be in this room. But, it's you just have to put that to one side, because, had some great feedback. As if you've worked with Marcia, really, really good, strong coach along the publishing process. Made sure that I got some good readers for endorsements and reviews, and got some really honest feedback, which I had to take from the editors and things. So, but it's still a baby. I'm still, it's only a week old.
Of course. And then obviously with the launch, and then it's like, oh my gosh. So I'm sure the questions you asked is like, so when's the next?
That's what everybody says.
I'm just saying what I know that you're going to be asked, so I might as well say, put it out there to the masses. The masses out there that are watching, listening, put some comments in there. Show this lovely young lady some love. It's not. What my producer will do. She'll bring them and she'll put them on the screen. If anyone, she'll put them on the screen. So don't worry.
So I keep saying that because, like I say, people have already said, your first book. I'm like, not first, it's the only one. There's been I've talked to a couple of people. One of the things that I'm quite intrigued about, and again, I don't know whether this is a book or whether this is just an article that I might write, but it's looking at leadership from a child's point of view. I did a lot of work when I was ahead, making sure that children, when they had those leadership skills, or we gave them jobs in school like prefects or learning ambassadors or whatever it was, that they learnt how to lead in that role. It wasn't just a badge that they're going to walk around and lord it over everybody else. Okay, what does it mean to be in that position of leadership along with your peers? So maybe there's something about, how we develop leadership in young people. The other thing I did think about that if I'm going to do another one, it will probably be this. One of the things about my book is that for every chapter and whatever point I'm making, so let's say, for example, find your people is one of the chapters, and it's about making sure you've got your cheerleaders around you and you grow people around you that are going to build you up and you can build them up and that kind of thing. So for every chapter, I've got the story of somebody, or I've asked somebody to write their story who is still a serving leader, because I'm aware that obviously the longer I'm out of education, the more, not irrelevant, but my experience is will become less current because I'm out of school. So I made sure that people who are still working can write a story and illustrate my point. So there's 13 different stories, some long, some short, to illustrate what I'm saying. But along the way, I asked lots of people, to write their stories for different parts of the book. and not all of them made it into the book because it would have been just a long book. So I've got all of these stories, and I'm just wondering whether there's a companion book that goes with Leading Light that is just, this is my story, you know, and they're uplifting stories. They're not moany stories or anything like that. They are, this happened to me, I overcame by doing this, or this is how I got to be here. So I've got, you know, I'm the custodian of all those stories, which I take very seriously. So maybe there is a companion piece that goes with it, which is just tell your story.
Wowza. So what now? Is it radio shows? Is it, I don't know, are you touring, doing your book launch?
So I've got, I still work 2 days a week because I've got my own business. I've been coaching leaders for about since 2014. So I became a qualified as a coach. So I've been coaching leaders all that time alongside being a head teacher. And so I've kept 2 days a week where I go into school through my own business, and I coach either one-to-one or groups, and I do training as well for middle leadership groups. So for me, part of my next thing is to really illustrate what's in the book. I mean, I want to sell the book. I sold 10 books yesterday. Marcia, I can see that you're on. I sold 10 books in one day just by walking about. They're in my boot. I happen to talk about it. Oh, have you got a card machine? Yes, I have.
That's right. Right. You got it.
So hopefully it's going to lead to more coaching beyond this academic year. It will lead to speaking opportunities, because I do like to do keynote speaking as well. But just the opportunity to tell my story, to encourage other leaders to remain in the job. That's the purpose of the book.
Marcia asked a question. She just wasn't just there for fun. Why is that book? Why has your book got that title?
The title. So the title was an interesting one. So again, I'd written the book, kind of in its first draft form. I was really pleased with what I'd written, but I didn't have a title. So the next thing was, I'm working with Marcia, and filling in the form in terms of, how long is it? What's the title? And that box is blank because I haven't got a title. So I remember saying to Marcia, I haven't got a title, and she said, that's absolutely fine. The title will reveal itself.
Yes.
So again, I kind of relaxed into that and thought, okay, that's fine. So we just keep doing what we're doing. I've got my illustrations, I've got everything, still no title. And then, because my company's called Luminosa, which means light. It's got a link to Spanish, which means light. So I wanted something to do with light and leading. And I just kept it, and it was just becoming very, very clunky. So I had leadership, light and life, and the light of leadership and da-da-da-da-da. And it was just this long title. Yeah. So we were just playing with ideas. And it was Marcia that said, I think she said, leading, I think I said leadership and life. And then it was leadership and light. And I had drawn a light bulb. Again, very sketchy, just not a very good drawing. And then Marcia was the one that said, what about leadership lights? Or leadership and lights or something. And then we said, I don't know whether we both came up with it at the same time, but it was just like leading light. Leading light. And I was like, that's it. That's the title.
I know, when you get it, it's like, that's it.
Yeah. And I thought these books, because while I was writing, everybody kept saying, what's the title of your book? And I kept saying, I haven't got one. People are like, what do you mean you haven't got a title?
Yeah, because I think people think that you have to have that early on that you've done.
Yeah, but it was the very last thing that we came up with the title. I told you everywhere you go.
It's true.
I went to netball yesterday morning. I just happened to have them in the car, and it's just like
there's somebody who's you got another message on there, my love.
Oh yeah, absolutely wonderful compilation of real life stories. Yeah, they were real. I think there's a quote by Maya Angelou that I used to use in school, and it goes something like, "There's nothing so painful as keeping your story within." That's me paraphrasing, but it's that idea that sometimes we keep our stories to ourselves when actually somebody else can learn from it. So I've got my story in the book, but there's 12 other stories in my book from people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Heather, thank you so much. You're probably thinking, like,
Thank you for
do you know
having
what
me
you've been
on.
on? That's not a problem at all. There's other things that are going to be going on. This is a producer, Shelley.
Hi, Shelley.
I just
Isn't
wanted
that...
to say, when you were saying about leadership for children, I'm a product of guiding scouting. And that's something that you're actually promoting in amongst them, that's leading by example. It's that you have your little jobs as you go through, as you're the older children, the young adults in your unit, you're helping the younger ones and you get given little jobs and things.
Yeah,
we used to, I mean, I'm a little bit younger than you, but when I was at school, you did used to have like your prefects, your milk monitors.
Your monitors, yeah. I remember being milk monitor,
That's it.
You had those little jobs, but the only thing I now still find now is guiding scouting is doing that same thing, that it's leading by example, it's bringing people through, and that idea of actually having that kind of a thing, I think would be really good.
I mean, we did for a while because you know, with my coaching, we set up coaching across the school, so most, you know, all staff had access to coaching, but we did for a while have trained up children to be coaches. So we gave them a little model that they could follow, and they would, you know, one lunchtime they would sit in a room and their peers would come to them and they would say, you know, I'm really struggling with my maths today, and they would take them through a coaching process. And that was really exciting. I mean, we didn't run it for very long because it's really time intensive, but I'm intrigued to see whether we can, you know, through the book, if I were to write one for children, whether that was something that we could
be implemented.
Yeah. Because I don't think many children, particularly in the schools where I was working in East Birmingham, they didn't go to scouts, they didn't go to clubs, they went to sports clubs. But they didn't go to scouts and guiding and things like that, and so I don't know where they're getting those leadership opportunities. Oh, there it is. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. Yeah, that's the quote.
Fabulous. I'm going to have to let you go, Heather.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Hopefully we are going to be having a book event on the 17th of October. I've got the date already.
Okay.
Marcia will tell you all about that. When I launched that was back in 2019. She came down to Luton. That's where we are, in Luton. I don't know, I think there's about 10 authors. Okay. She came down with, and it's absolutely incredible. I have to send you that information.
Yeah.
Yes, so hopefully we can link up. And we'll certainly be sharing your details. So anybody who's been listening, obviously, to you this evening, they'll have that information if they wish to go and find out more about you. There's a link, and obviously purchase the book as well.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for having me on, Dee.
No problem, darling. All right, you take care. All right, take care. Bye-bye. Oh, wow. So, oh my gosh, amazing. Both, and the gentleman, is Gilroy there?
He's waiting in the wings,
yes. Let's bring him on, because he's probably been waiting for a little while. Hello. Good evening. Greetings, young man. Greetings. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm well. And yourselves?
Oh, very well, thank you. Very well. Thank you so much for taking time out to come on the show this evening. You do know we are beaming to the masses out there live on Facebook and YouTube.
All right. Wow.
So Marcia probably didn't mention this bit, but we are audience figures. The producer's she's just told me we are at 999,900. So we're just on the million marker, Gilroy. And it's for you, no pressure. No pressure. It's for you to take us over that million marker. No pressure at all. Were you just listening to my chat with Heather?
I was most enthralling, yep.
So that way, then you know this isn't an interview. It's very informal, and rather than, because obviously there's different shows, I'm sure, and things that you've been on, but rather than just get straight to your book, I myself, Dee Bailey, I'm the founder of the show, and the show is called RealTalk, and it's very important for me, and also the listeners, the people that are watching, that it's not scripted, because people sort of say, like, what questions are you going to ask me? And I'm like, if I give you questions, then I know what I'm asking, you know what, and it's all staged, it's not authentic. I just want it to be, it just is how it is. Sometimes I will go quiet and I will say to people, just give me a few moments, because what I've been told, I need to digest. As somebody who's watching it, you just kind of, but when you're on the receiving end and you're hosting, it's like, okay. Okay, so that's how raw and real I need it to be. So we're going to peel back. You're not an onion, Gilroy, so don't get me wrong. But I am going to peel you back like an onion, metaphorically. So I started with Heather, and we went back to school days. We went back to school days, because for you to be where you are now, I want myself and obviously the audience to just get an idea of your background, and then bring us to where we're at now. So how was school for you?
School was interesting. I mean, the early school days were pleasant, innocent, wonderful, really. Things began to change, and reality sort of kicked in during the secondary school phase. I'm 72, so I was born in 1953, one of the first Black kids born in this country, in the town where I grew up. That was Wolverhampton, and a child of the 60s, because I left secondary school in 1970. So all those early Windrush experiences I experienced firsthand. But the early stages, primary school was great. Couple of instances of where I was made aware of who I was and that I was the other, but it became even more vivid in secondary school.
Okay, it's your job, Gilroy. You go as far as you want to go, but it's important for me, but only if you want to go there. Because the show's called Real Talk, because every time people share on the show, there's always somebody, and it's like, oh my gosh, your journey, what you shared is something that I felt, but I may have wanted to share but haven't shared, or those feelings, or they think they're on their own, and then somebody else has just reinforced, well, actually, this is what you're saying is what I went through. But I haven't shared it with anybody. So if you don't mind, sort of like high school, you're hitting high school now, and I can't imagine back then how it was.
Well, you're talking about 1965. I mean,
that's when I was born.
Obviously, well, all right. There's no way in which, as a person of color in this society, that you can live without experiencing some form of discrimination, racism, etc. It comes in different degrees. But I remember my very first experience of realizing that I was different. I knew I was different, but we're made to feel that you are different, and therefore that's where you're supposed to be. Because it would have been about 1960. I'm sure at my age here, there was a very popular TV program called Robin Hood, on the Adventures of Robin Hood. And and it's on now, you see it and repeats. And Robin Hood was a hero at that time for many of us as young kids. And I'm in the playground, I couldn't be more than about 6, but I was quite tall for my age. And we were about to play Robin Hood in the playground. And of course, we all chose to be various characters. And I was interested in being Little John. Now, Little John was a giant of a man, who was one of the merry men, stood head and shoulders above everybody else, quite a heroic figure, and he was always at Robin's right hand.
That's right.
But as they were choosing the characters, I said, I want to be Little John. And I remember one of my friends, lovely friend, turned around and said, matter of fact, you can't be Little John. And I said, well, why not? I'm telling everybody this. Yeah, but you're black. I thought, oh, right. And I went home and spoke to my father, and my father said to me, son, get used to it. This is what's going to happen. But I'm going to tell you about yourself. I did history, don't worry. And you realize that being Black is nothing to be ashamed of, and certainly not something that you should feel excluded from good things to make you feel that you don't belong. But it was a good wake-up call. And my father, God bless his soul, and my mother were very ahead of the time, because they were very conscious and proud of their African Caribbean roots. So within our home, we had a lot of positive images of our culture, and particularly in how they talked about life back home.
Okay, so where's back home? Where's back home?
Jamaica.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, sure, yeah, Jamaica. And but for much of my primary school time, I was fine. In fact, I remember another incident where I was in the toilets. I'd come in from the playground. I was washing my face because I was so sweaty. And one of my friends said to me, "Gil, is everything all right?" I said, "Yeah." I thought he was trying to wash all the black off. Again, up to the mouths of babes and sucking. We were only about 9 years old at the time, so it hit me. But I thought, yeah, but it didn't in any way affect me negatively, because I knew who I was. But it made me realize that they saw my blackness as an impediment, and wondered whether I saw it too. And sadly, that was a conditioning of many Black kids I knew at the time,
back then,
where they saw blackness as an impediment. Apart from that, everything else, but there's a few other things, but too numerous to mention. You have to check the book. The book will tell you more.
That's it, Gilroy. That's what. Don't be dropping all your nuggets. Don't be dropping as much as I'm asking. Don't drop a little something. No, we want them to get the book. So what we're doing now, we're literally like throwing out like a fish, and we're reeling them in. That's what we're doing, Gilroy. Okay, we're reeling them in.
Well, I can say that there's some more seminal moments when I enter secondary school, but you'll have to buy the book to read that. And in all those experiences, toughened me. And the great thing was that because of my groundings, what my parents had taught me, both spiritually and culturally, by the time I was in my mid-teens at secondary school, and the teachers would say all kinds of things that were derogatory, etc. As much as it hit, I'd be saying to myself, "You're not talking to me, because I know who I am." But what affected me was how it affected my peers, my other peers who didn't have that grounding at home. I was still trying to find who they were. And that was one of the things that made me want to become a teacher, because I felt I need to get back into the system to try and change things from within.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was
it. So when you left high school, did you go back then? I don't know, was it college, or did you? I would have thought you went straight into work. Did you?
I never left school. That's a weird thing. I mean, I went from school to college, where I did my A levels, and then from college then to teacher training college, which is like uni, to get my studies as a teacher. Now, back in those days, you did a 3-year course where you got your Cert Ed, Certificate of Education, and then at the whim of the powers that be in the college, you were selected to do a B.Ed in your and stay on for an extra year. Now, that opportunity wasn't offered to me, but what I did, as soon as I qualified as a teacher, I went straight into the OU, Open University, and got after 3 years got my BA education. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So what was your special? What did you specialize in?
Well, mine was English and art.
English and art.
My subjects, English and art, were my main subjects, and then I trained in primary for 3 years. So I trained in primary for 3 years. Sorry, at teacher training college, and then when I did the OU, it was in education, but majoring in English and art.
Okay, and that was in primary, or was that in high school? Did you teach?
No, I taught, most of my years were in primary, trained for primary, but I have done some secondary as well. One particular time in my life, I was a principal of an all-age school from 6 to 16. That's also in the book.
Okay. What would you say? What would you say age the most challenging, would you say?
What age?
Yeah.
Well, again, to some degrees it's relative, but I would say that by and large it would be our Key Stage 3, Key Stage 4 pupils, secondary school pupils would be the most challenging, because as well as the attitude, you got the physicality bit behind it as well. So if things really do not turn nasty, they can turn very, very nasty. And it is, yeah, there are certain, there's something about disaffected students in secondary school that is markedly different from those that have problems in primary school. It's not always as simple as that, but by and large, because you're dealing with older young people trying to find themselves, some of them feel like they're adults already. Some of them will probably come from homes where they are the adults. Some of them will belong to parents where they're already roaming the streets as adults. Not wanting to generalize that all young people are feral, but you know what I'm trying to say? It can be particularly challenging. But at the same time, someone has to do it, and it comes down to really how you relate to young people.
So much so. I mean, when you speak to people, even now, and they're talking about maybe certain things that are going on, and when you again start peeling back, there's a lot of things that stem back to school times.
Absolutely.
And things that may potentially, as a teacher, you've been told. You know, many people have had on the show that is like, you're not going to amount to something, or you're not going to this, or you're not going to that. And that seed is planted.
Absolutely. One of the biggest influences in any person's life, no matter what age you are, is the teachers in your life.
Yes.
We can all think back to the good teacher that we all knew, Mr. Reed, such a nice person. Mrs. So-and-so, she's really good. And you know that those people had your best interests at heart. They were like your parents. They didn't even have to say much to let you know that they believed in you and wanted the best for you. Conversely, you had those teachers who they looked at you as if you're something they just wiped off the sole of their shoes. Okay. And I remember I used to be a visiting lecturer at the School of Education in Birmingham, speaking to PGCE students in the last term of the year of study. And I said, so you want to be a teacher? And I used to say to them that, teaching is more than just subject knowledge and the ability to, obviously. It's about engaging with people, reaching people, empathizing with people, inspiring people, all those things that described as these nebulous areas and soft skills, but you've got to have them. And if you have that on top of your subject knowledge and your ability to teach or to impart knowledge, then that's what gives you the edge of being that effective teacher, that member of a teacher. And we looked at some research that was done in the early 2000s, which looked at what is an effective teacher. And as a group of year 8 students were asked, what is an effective teacher? They mentioned things such as kind, understanding, makes me feel smart, is forgiving, is gentle, gives me a second chance. All those wonderful personal attributes. Nothing about he's a great science teacher who knows about quantum physics and all that kind of stuff.
You see that? Yeah.
And I said to the students, I said, look, if you're going to become a teacher that really makes a difference in the life of young people, because that's what you're supposed to be there for, then you've got to have those qualities. If you haven't got those qualities, leave now, because we've got enough emotional cripples created by people who shouldn't have entered the profession. And I said to them that you can always remember the good teacher. We all can. You yourself just nodded. You remember the good teachers out there. But you can also remember the bad teacher who still gives you nightmares now. Who, because of what they said, that one thing they said made all that difference. So, it's
oh wow.
It's
a bigger job than we think. I don't know if Trish, one of our ladies, I don't know if she's still listening in, if she could put in the chat, because she's a teaching assistant, and there's so many things that and the responsibility really of a teacher, I don't think, unless you're in it or unless you've got kids and just really understand the importance of what their role is, maybe at some stage even more important. Well, she's just posted something on there. Just kind of like what she's been doing. And you know, when you hear sort of like kids are going into sort of primary school and they don't know please and thank you. Some are still going in nappies. Some are, there's so many things. And I know my friend who was primary, and she said that what parents were saying is their job is to do the stuff at home. And it literally, as a teacher, your job is to teach my child like everything.
Yeah, no,
that's your job as a teacher, teach everything, not my job as a parent. But of course it is.
It is. It's well, the thing is that education spans every aspect of life. It's a cradle to the grave experience. And for me, I saw parents as partners in the process.
Yes.
Because we are caring for our children. And a child learns from the minute they come out of the womb, basically. So everything that they receive is an education of sorts. It's going to shape thought, shape behavior, shape attitude, and everything else. And if teachers and parents come together, and the most successful schools, you find the schools that have got that perfect partnership between teachers and parents coming together to support that child cannot fail. And I've yet to see a child, in my experience, where the two most important people in their lives, the teacher and the parent working together, has failed to support them to be successful. I've yet to see that fail. I was a firm believer as a head teacher that we were to partner with parents. And all members of staff sort of believe that because it was professional snobbery. And not every parent believed that because they felt in awe of teachers and felt they couldn't match. But where there's genuine partnership, the children thrive. And I've got some amazing stories of young people who came from nothing and became something. And parents who realize, you know something, I do have a role to play in my child's life. I can inspire them. I am a role model. So so
oh, loving that, Gilroy. Absolutely. No.
Yeah,
so Marcia can't help herself. She can't help herself.
What did she do?
She's just posted on there. So by the way, I have with myself and a team of people within my org, our first book was called, we wrote during lockdown actually, and it was called Life in a Lockdown, and there's 22 of us that wrote a chapter each. And Marcia, the publishing company, published that, and they published our second book also as well. So I know Marcia very well. So please show us your book. As you can see, everybody, all the information how to purchase a book on Amazon. It's called Redeemed. Is that right? Is it Redeemed?
Yes, it is Redeemed, yes.
Redeemed. Okay, and why has it got that title?
Interesting again, and just like Heather's experience, Marcia helped me to find that definitive title that summed up the book. And another addition I must make, Marcia Heather referred to me as Herman. I wrote her, I'm Gilroy, but we do know someone called Herman who's an outstanding brother too, so worthwhile.
Do you know what? Because I thought she keeps saying Herman. I was thinking like maybe Herman's your name, but somehow we're going by Gilroy or
no. She's worked with a Herman who Jimmy, but incidentally, my father's name is Herman, and I thought, oh, that Edda doesn't know my dad. Redeemed. Again, wonderful experience with Marcia. I can't credit her enough. Being there to be the final voice that encouraged me to share my story. My book partly overlaps with the type of things I had thought about as well, because it charts my professional and spiritual journey from birth to where I am now, and the lessons I learned along the way to make me be who I am now. And there's a lot of sub things. So one of them is that me as a pastor's son. So it's almost like a prodigal son story as well. I left the way, went out into the world. But I always had this very suited and booted exterior, but inside deeply unfulfilled. And I was this iconic figure that inspired so many people. And the irony was, even though I was doing that, myself wasn't fulfilled until I came back to Christ. And that's the story. But in my book as well, there's a lot of stuff on education, a lot of chapters about having to believe in yourself, avoid pitfalls, overcome barriers where you're limited because of others' perception of your race, etc. And the belief that and resilience that one had to possess in order to overcome the barriers. And I was the first Black male primary head teacher in Birmingham, possibly the region, back in 1989. So
wow.
But I give all the glory to God. Yeah. And and there's a few others, like myself, in the years of the early 90s, and we had to stick together to support each other because the system, as we know, is not designed for people like ourselves to succeed. And that's what makes Heather's achievement so outstanding as well. We as Black professionals in the education system, in the health service too, I believe, and other professions, we succeed in spite of the system. That's what makes our achievements all the more significant.
And the fact that you've written, what sort of like, I don't know, you're obviously teaching, you're doing all that sort of stuff. What inspired you to actually sort of like to write the book?
All right, about 5 years ago, I believe my wife's sister, who belongs to one of our sister churches in Walsall, hosted a conference called Seasons of Change. And it was to do with, it was looking at people who had gone through seasons of adverse moments, but had come out on top, having learned lessons and having become stronger and refined because of it. So I was one of, I think, 3 speakers, but the only male speaker, because it's predominantly women were there. And I had to, Heather, you're forgiven. She just sent me a message, said she's sorry for calling me Herman.
I don't forgive you, Heather. I don't forgive you.
So I was talking about my life and seasons I went through and certain things I went through in terms of lost my way, but professionally still kept things intact, but personally lost my way, and how I came to find myself again, and that was through coming back to God and through Christ.
So this is in the book, right?
But this is all in the book. So what it was, one of the audience said to me, Gil, that story, a lot of people could relate to. You need to share that story. So I said, I never really thought of it that way. She said, no, on so many levels, either as an educationalist, someone just entering the profession as a Black person want to aspire to leadership. There'll be nuggets in your story that would help them work out a plan to overcome it. Or you've come from broken relationships and you've thought about how best to recover from that and find yourself again. Furthermore, you're a man who's dared to be and had the courage to be sensitive and open himself up. That would be unique. So I thought, okay. I thought about it for about another year. Then saw Marcia would publicize on Facebook the work that she was doing. Now I knew Marcia from before. And I thought, well, let me contact Marcia. And I spoke to her, and she said, Gil, no. You got a book there. You got a book. And she believes that everybody has a book in them anyway.
It's true.
So I thought, okay, all right then, but you're still gonna have to convince me that I can write a book because I've never written it. And Marcia has a unique way of persuading people and making them see the greatness that's within them that they cannot see. And I was encouraged then to consider taking the offer up. She told me about the process, how much it would cost and over what period of time, or what support I'd get in me writing the book. So she found me a ghostwriter who ended up not writing the book. I wrote the book, but my ghostwriter was my critical friend. So that when I wrote something, she'd ask me questions. Okay, I like that, but could you say more about that? Or wait a minute, how did that person then come in and say that? And you say a bit more about how you are affected by that experience. And so what developed was a beautiful two and a half year journey where myself and the my critical friend walk side by side, talking and conversing, challenging, and so forth. And in the end, I even made a difference in her personal life as well. So that could be a book in itself. And Marcia was dipping from time to time with the conversation. That's great. That's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So when was this book published?
The book was published in June. It was, I think, towards November, December 2023. The book was finished in June 2023, and the book launch was planned for December 2023. Yeah.
Wow. So it's been out for a few years.
Yeah, for a couple of years, yes. And I'm happy to say sold very well. And it's on Amazon. And I looked at Amazon and he said it's one of the best books of 2025. So again, give God the glory. I thank my good friend and sister Marcia. I thank my wife for having patience with me as well, and adding to the latter.
This is it, because it must. So I'm not assuming anything, Gilroy. You might have said at the beginning, but I've probably forgotten. So have you retired? Are you still in the educational field?
No, I retired 12 years ago, and but and then I became an education consultant, and I still do some consultancy now. But much of my time is taken up being a pastor of the church that I grew up in. And I'm being able to transfer a lot of my leadership skills and experiences from education to church leadership and management. And interestingly enough, just before I left my last job, because I came out of retirement and was a principal of an all-age school, somebody said to me, Bill, you lead like a pastor, not like a head teacher. And I said, well, is that different? Is there a difference? There we are.
Oh, that's wow. Absolutely incredible. It's been such a pleasure having you on, honestly. I'd love to get you guys on again. And as I said to Heather, which Marcia knows, and I'll be passing the information to Marcia, and we're putting it out there on the 17th of October, so people have time. The event is actually called the Black Bookcase, and Simply Deez Events, which is my organisation, we're doing this in partnership with an organisation called Read Aware. But we have authors, there'll be authors interviews, there'll be businesses, black businesses, and it's literally an all-day event. The first time Marcia was a keynote speaker, and literally I think she came down with about 10 or 11 of her authors to this event. We had 44 black authors, and people were saying to me, there's not even, people saying you're making it up, there's not 44 black authors. I'm thinking, like, are they kidding? But they weren't joking, Gilroy, you know, they weren't joking. The thing is, some people, unless they see things, do they believe? It's a case of 44, where you get 44, there's not 44, and just having certain exposure to things. So if you can imagine this event, I think we had just over 60 exhibitors, and 44 of them were authors. We had 3 publishers and 3 booksellers also, as well as other businesses. And it was an amazing day. We had a children's corner. We had 2 book launches on the day as well. Absolutely incredible. That's in Luton. We're based in, we're not sort of like local up your end. So that's what I meant when she came down. So she came down with her entourage. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible. But thank you so much for your time. Everybody out there, Gilroy's details are before you go, the doctorate.
Oh, my doctorate, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, I was knocked up by that. I received an honorary doctorate from Newman University, Birmingham, for my services to education over the last 50 years in leadership, community liaison, number of areas, leadership being the main area, because I also do leadership coaching myself, and I've given talks and give talks on leadership and other related aspects. Yeah, still active.
So I should be Dr. Gilroy.
If you wish.
Oh, bless you. You're amazing. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sure we'll catch up soon. All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the
All right.
opportunity. Thank you.
No problem. Take care, my love. Bye-bye.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Where's that producer lady?
Yes, everything's kind of similar, yeah.
Not in just how it's swayed, how it's gone. Is Leesh waiting in the wings?
She is, yes. She
is. Okay, I'm going to let you. I just need to. I tell you what I'm going to do, because I can hear.
Can I do
Yes, please.
Miss update. Is that what you're trying to say, love?
Yes. Leesh, you're the last guest for today. So don't worry, sis. You know the show don't done till 10 o'clock. We have time, and make sure you last. Because there's not to say. And as you see a clip from the other, she's like, don't even, sis, don't even. Let me just get a drink. Shell, if you could do Tishi's, and then Leesh, we will think of. So do you want to just bring Leesh down for a sec, Shell? I'm going to come off, and if you could just do Tishi's.
I could be all on my own. Okay.
Well, yeah. Take the stage, girl. Take the stage.
There you go. Completely taken over. Yes. So Tishi, I hope you're actually out there. I haven't just messaged you to say that I was going to do your update. So Tishi has this time given us an update, not a poem, and it's quite clean. So the Real Talk with Simply Deez update. Hello, everyone. Since the last show, life has been good. I have written a poem for the Sofa Stories project that Stemsy is doing, and I can hear my poem. And you can hear my poem at the next event next month. I've been watching lots of things on Netflix and my Fire TV stick. Yes, she has been doing that because we've been gossiping about what we're watching. I'm trying new exercises with Sasha. Sasha is her personal trainer, and some of them have been hard, but I've enjoyed doing them. On Saturday, Dad and I cooked prawn, lobster, garlic butter, spaghetti. Why do we not get invites when you start doing this, Tishi? Yeah, garlic butter spaghetti, and it was so delicious. We are deciding what to cook next. I went to Tesco on Sunday morning and did my food shopping, and I called my nana yesterday. We had a little catch up and going round on Thursday as usual. And today Mum came by and we had a little catch up. Till the next time, people, stay blessed and keep following your dreams no matter what. Dee, has that made you hungry?
What?
Did I not shout that bit loud enough? What she decided to make.
No, I saw that, the prawns and I saw it. No, I'm not. I'm quite stuffed right now, to be honest. Eating too much. Just had to get a drink because I need something a little bit stronger, to be honest. Got Leesh coming on, but Leesh, I should have got the ginger wine, but I'm worried. I best not. I forgot. You need to remind me, Shell, not to let anybody go. But Tishi, I'm sure you are still there somewhere. Number 3 and number 5 have gone. So, Tishi, you can pick number 1, number 2, number 4, or number 6. So, need Tishi, even if you WhatsApp her, Shell.
Yeah, I was just WhatsApping to make sure that she was actually listening.
To thing that. And then we're going to be bringing Leesh on in a moment. I don't know if Marcia is still there. Because I'm hopeless and forgot to ask my other guests. And I've got producers that don't help me. What's the point?
You've got Trisha's then gone D. Oh, Tisha says number 6, please.
Number 6. Okay. Just read what card says. It says, well done is better than well said.
Oh.
Well done is better than well said. So, Tishy Thomas, I know you've been up to a few things. So we have got, one of these is for Leesh, but there are two more, so whatever they are.
Trisha's just said that she commented a little earlier on about her card that was about flying. No, we said flying, didn't we?
Go the extra mile, wasn't it?
Go the extra mile, yeah. So her response to that, going the extra mile, strive to do something, tried to do mostly, but I was off sick for a few days last week from work and realised sometimes you have to slow down and everything doesn't need to be perfect. So it's good looking after yourself. That's what it's then need.
Good.
And yes, so was you getting Marcia too? Because she's just now back.
I knew you'd be back, Spency. I just knew it. Okay, so 1, 2, or 4? Marcia, Spence. What number do you want, love? I'll shuffle. Not that he makes any odds.
Oh, yeah,
you can tell this is real. You can tell this is not rehearsed. For those of you who are there saying like, oh, Shell don't have a clue. She's gone for number 1.
She's gone for number 1.
Oh my God, this is not the one for you. This really isn't. I don't know what that's about. Look at that. What does that say? No pain, no gain. Oh God, that's the worst person to send this to. That is, okay, no pain, no gain. But saying that in all seriousness, Marcia and anybody else who's watching, what do you think of that? Is that true? Sometimes.
Well, if as Marcia always calls herself like the midwife of books, then yes, she has to have a bit of pain that way.
Exactly. That's how we can put a spin on it. But Marcia, being so whatever that word is, and you do actually have the link for the show in all fairness, because you passed it to Heather and Gilroy. Really and truly, you should show your face. But I'm not dressed, I ain't got my makeup on. Oh Lord.
I suppose you have to learn a lot from pain, whatever your pain is. It is sent to try us, unfortunately.
Yeah. So for those that are sort of like and maybe not speed read, just put, oh Lord, pain is a story of my life. It's true. I have learned so much from chronic pain. So you can turn it that way, exactly that. So through that, there's so many lessons that it's taught her.
Yeah. And it's got my hair done.
You have. So you're coming on or what? That's the question.
Come on.
you got do you know what I mean? We got 5 minutes because Leesh, Natural Mystique, our sister, we're going to have a nice little chat with her because I haven't got any more guests on today. But it'd be nice if the publisher of our 2 books, what she put?
Not going to achieve much through the pain.
Yeah, I know all of that. I said, get on the show. What are you talking about? Get on.
She's in the PJs.
Well, who?
Everyone that was watching earlier.
What point is she making? We were talking about lockdown. People wearing less than PJs. Trust me. Trust. You're in your PJs and what? Who's interested? See, that's what I don't like about that woman, Shell. Me, self. I'm in my PJs. She's probably there going like, Jesus Christ, that girl's off her head.
Yeah.
All right, Marth. we will catch up. We will catch up. But thank you for obviously over a period of time, because we work so well with the publishing house, Marcia in the Spence, and the publishing house. Not only have they published our 2 books, but we've had many authors on the show. We've had so many links and so many things we've done and collaborated with together. I've already mentioned the Black Bookcase to her, and she's like, I'm sponsoring. And you know what? I didn't ask her to sponsor. And that's just automatic. So whilst we're here and we're talking to you and bringing Leesh on in set, just wanted to say on behalf of Simply Deez Events, we truly thank you, the other Shelley and the rest of the team, the people we've met on that journey. And it has been a journey. You've been down to Luton.
I like acronyms.
Oh, that's Natural Mystique.
Yeah.
Loving that, loving that. When you come on, you can explain that, Mrs. You can explain that. But yeah, just wanted to say a massive thank you. And there's changes within the publishing house, but it's all good. And so many lessons that you've shared. You've been so... myself and V went to your book launch, your latest book. That was last year. Yeah, you've just kind of laid it out there, and we've kind of like followed you. It's like watching TV. To be honest, Mars, I don't know why you ain't got a TV show.
Yes, could do it.
A TV show or even a play, because I'm telling you something now. It's like, oh. She knows me well enough. It's like, what's the next episode? Can't wait. It's better than anything I've seen on Netflix in a long while, Mars.
Sit down with the popcorn and spill the tea.
Yeah, no, you know that. Oh, give me that, Shell. Give me that, sis. Literally, there's nothing better than that. Ginger wine, popcorn, and I'm sorted. Such a cheap date. Such a cheap date. But no, seriously, thank you. And for your contribution, not just to ourselves, I'm just talking to people out there. Not everybody gets everything. And just like you're talking about tea, Shell, not everybody drinks their tea the same way. So not everybody's going to like the way I make tea. Actually, nobody does. But that's not a really good example. But we're all different. We like things differently. So not everybody's going to, but you know what? You just got to live your life the way you see, not for others.
It's like how Leesh put on the post when we were saying about our soiree, our Ladies' Day soiree.
Yeah,
it's not about the competition. It's about the collaboration. You find your tribe and you help each other out. Whether you don't have to be liking the same band, wearing the same clothes, liking the same food, come from the same background. You as a person, you just find who you're meant to be with, and just yeah.
Can I before I bring yeah, I just saw.
Yes, Leesh, yes, I'd be a mug.
Oh, love it. Keep them coming, girl. Keep them coming. We're on a roll right now. But this is a true story. True story. You're listening, Shelley Titmuss, because it's about you. I was speaking to a lady today, and it's with regards to, I shared something with you and Cecile last week about being on a Zoom and some things and whatever and that. Anyway, a lady called me today, and it was only supposed to be like probably a 2-minute chat. Probably about 50-something minutes later, I had things to do. Couldn't believe we're still on the phone chatting and that. And she was going, your name, it just rings a bell. And I'm like, oh, God. Who in that field could have slandered me again? And I met this lady, she bakes cakes and stuff like that, but she was saying that I need to meet you, blah, blah. I'm like, Shell. She's like, can't remember her name, but I said, just got to remember Shelley Scrump. She's go, that's it. I said, she's a director. I said, she's one of the directors. I said, yes. And she said, oh, she's saying like blah, blah, blah. And I'm not talking, this wasn't recent.
Wow.
yeah, this wasn't recent. This is probably maybe a year or so ago. And she's like, that's. And I'm like, I got to tell Shell that, do you see how things work? So I was telling her all about, do you know what I mean? And anyway, I got my, she might be watching, I got my into her. And I'm sure we'll be seeing, I'm sure we'll be seeing her at some stage. And we were just talking, having a conversation, and there's things that she's wanted to do, but life gets in the way, right? Everyone? I think we can all relate to that. Life gets in the way. And then there's family, there's partner, there's kids, there's whatever, there's work. There's always something. But you've got a passion for something, but all these things keep getting in the way. And the obstacle is you.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, there are so many, but everything else is more important than you.
Yeah.
And
you
that's
get,
all of us.
The imposter syndrome, because you would promote someone else.
Yeah,
but you
like anything. Yeah.
Promote your own causes. I said on one of the other things I said on the lunchtime show was that things that I've learned through the mental health training and stuff that I've done, and it's, you know, and you use it for life as well, and we do this all the time, that I'm not in front of you pulling you through whatever you're going through. I'm not behind you pushing you through. I'm stood next to you, walking you through. So if I can support you, I will support you, but I'm not going to make you come to it or push you to it. I'm just going to give you that support next to you to help you through. And that's what we do at Simply Deez. That's all of our different events. It's all, this is what's out there. These are the stories that are around. You only just need to listen and share it on, listen, take it in, work on it. It'll pop up in a year's time that you kind of think, oh, actually, so-and-so did that. And and we have always been that we will help other people. And it's helping ourselves, but it's the predominantly is then the helping the other people. And I think, personally myself, I get that from my mum, because she was going through brownies in church, but also my dad's side of the family as well, because my granddad, one of the founder members of Stopsley Workingsmen Club, if anyone out there for Luton that knows Stopsley, and it started up because just after the war, they decided that they need to have a club for particular minded people. And my granddad, even though he was known as the grumpy old man on the door, not letting people in when he's doing, you haven't got your card, you're not this, you're not that, no, I'm going to turn you away, you're too drunk, all that kind of stuff. But he would be the first person that, with his friends at the club, say for instance on a Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, you're going home for Christmas dinner on your own. No, you're not. You're coming back to our house. You're having dinner with us. And mum would be running around panicking. I mean, I was only little at the time, but mum would be running around panicking, trying to get extra veg on and stuff. But granddad was very much like that. He was all about the community. He was all about that. But he would come across as grumpy. It was just his natural thing. But it was predominantly that, no, we will organise all these different things and all the different coach trips and stuff that they did. And that's where it comes from. It's like family first, community first, looking after one another if you can. Even if you haven't got anything yourself, just by lending an ear, it's helping someone. It doesn't have to be that you're lending someone money or you're feeding them or whatever.
No, people always think it's got to be, it's like monetary or something like that. And it's not at all. There's so many different ways you can support people. You support by just sharing what somebody's doing.
Yeah. As Gil was saying earlier, that you're doing all that stuff in school, but you've got the leadership thing. Same with Heather as well, that it's the leadership thing. You're bringing people through because you're your own leader. And just as you said, you're a pastor. You're a pastor in the school, being a head teacher. That's exactly the same kind of thing. It's guiding people along, showing them what they can do, not what you can do, but what they can do.
Let them believe that, yeah.
So they get their belief in what they can do. No one has the right to turn around and say to someone, you know, you can't do that, to anyone. But it's just that belief, and it is a natural thing, sort of like nowadays, where it's, you'll not have your own self-belief. You will talk yourself down, but you'll quite easily talk your friend up.
Yeah.
And it's like, would you say that to yourself? No. Shut up.
Yeah, no, but it's all right. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. You guys that are still watching,
I know.
it's your own fault. It's your own fault.
You got to strap in even more now. And Leesh is coming in with a mix.
Okay, so for those of you, you know, sort of like, you have to have, actually, in all seriousness, let's get the young lady in question on. If you've got your seatbelt on already, find another seatbelt to go the other way. I'm just saying.
She'll come on again in a minute.
This is easy gonna be bumpy ride. Everybody bumpy. What does that say in the back? Body count. Lord have mercy. What warnings are we giving? You need to be what, 48 to listen to this? What, 48 plus? Look at her face. So
we'll keep it PG with the language that we'll use. I'm sure the background just says it all, really, doesn't it?
PG.
Do you not do PG? No. We're after 9, so we could be a 15.
PG, we could be sort of like, yeah, we've got to be at least a 15, because otherwise, like PG, they better be in bed. What are you on about? Anyway, so you save. Don't get me wrong, everybody. Don't get it twisted. But I've saved the best till last. I've said it now. I've said it. I've put it out there. This young lady is one of our own. Wanna hear me? One of our own. I have to give a bit of background before we even start talking stuff, Leesh, if that's okay, and you come in as and when you feel. Oh my gosh, I think we even spoke the other day, and I'm like, oh, when did I meet you?
2016, maybe.
This is how bad it is. We don't even know. So you're talking 10 years, possibly.
Probably 8 to 10 years.
Yeah, that kind of time. And it's a case of social media can be so many different things, and I'm sure we're going to cover that with some of the chat that we're going to have with Leesh. But that's how we met. Good old social media. And, you know, you sort of become friends on social media, doing all the different events, international women's, international men's. And Leesh said she's going to come down. I thought, she ain't. And as eggs, as they say, she reached. And then, you know, when you just kind of like, you'd already gelled, but that kind of just cemented something. And from then, just, I don't know, we've done international women's, we did international men's, we've done the Black Bookcase, we've done so many different things, and this young lady has helped, supported, been part of, and has been there. Soldier. COVID hit, and it's like, no more physical events, we've got to do Zooms, and we're all on this. When I say we're all, whoever wanted to be, anyway, we're on this Zoom every Thursday. When I say every Thursday, it was every Thursday for probably about 19-20 months. We did a Zoom every Thursday during the lockdown from April 2020. We were on a Zoom, and there was a core group of us, and with Marcia, who we've just shared some stuff, we produced 2 books.
That's my picture. There's the book.
Yes. We produced 2 books, Life Inner and Life Out of Lockdown. And this young lady is a co-author in both books.
Yeah.
That was then. Even since then, there's different things that we've done.
Mm-hmm.
Leesh don't live locally. Right? Leesh, the finest, she the day. So when you say support, hard times, good times, because not all times are good times. We're going to talk some things. Not all times are good times.
Yeah.
Even for, do you know what I mean? Do you see my hands them? It ain't all plain sailing for me, you know. Peeps, and you know what? Sometimes there's things and there's people come into you. When they say this, it's so true. Into your life for a reason. Sometimes it could be a season. You know that. And lessons upon lessons upon lessons. So I ain't going to take up any more time, but I just needed to, before we get into anything with this young lady, is for you guys and the masses out there to understand where she sits within Simply Deez. Okay, so please give it up, give it up, give it up for Natrel Mystique in their house. What a privilege.
Oh, wow. No, it's a privilege. I'm humbled. Trust me.
I'm going to think, because I will talk forever. I don't think you truly know, and I've said this to you on more than one occasion, and I still don't think you believe it. But you're special. We're all special. Don't get me wrong. You're special, and just letting you know, sort of like, aside from Simply Deez, you mean a lot to me. So let me zip my mouth.
No, you mean
Let
a
me
lot
zip
to
my
me.
mouth.
You really do. Yeah, so first met at International Men's Day was the first time that we bumped into each other. And I was just told, just get to Luton. Just get there.
Is that me?
No, I don't know, even someone in the comments. I can't even think who it was, to be honest with you. It was, and admittedly, at that time, I was going through a really, really rough patch. It just seemed like things weren't ever going to get any better. And that's when someone said to me, just go and see this lady. Just go and see Dee, and she'll give you a hug. And things may change or feel different. And they truly did from that very first moment that I met you and you gave me that hug. You had no clue who I was, really. And then, like you said, lockdown hit, and I was doing a lot of stuff, trying to do radio, and I was trying to do this and trying to do that. And, you know, I was just a bit of a mess, to be quite honest with you. And
Before we kind of, now that I've kind of semi-composed myself, and I don't know, do you tell me if you're going to go there? But before we get into the sort of, it's as in like, because we're talking about quite recent, is take us back. But that might intertwine with the book. It's up to you how you want to think. But I want us to have sort of like a bit of a backdrop without revealing too much of the book, but just a bit of sort of like back sort of thing in that, and then kind of bring us however you want to bring us to, if that makes sense.
But that's kind of where I was, to be honest. I was just going through a rough patch, and I know I needed to do something to change everything that was happening. And then the first book came along, and I was like, oh, I get an opportunity to add my 2 cents worth. And that meant a lot to be able to do that in that moment. And then book 2 came along, and I'd been through a whole lot more in that year. So things changed for the book 2, if you know what I mean. But it was just like, there's words in me that I needed to get out. And that's when the writing sort of started to just flow, to be quite honest with you, whether it was poetry, whether it was, you know, journaling in my diary, all that sort of stuff. And I knew I've always wanted to write this book. It's something like, you know, you don't plan these things, but there was something in me that said, I need to tell my story, if that makes sense, or I need to put it out there for kind of therapeutic to a certain extent. You know, am I brave enough to put certain things out there, and what am I going to do once it's out there, and what are people going to do with this information? And to be honest with you, none of that mattered. It was a calling. It was something that I had to do, and there was a much bigger sort of picture, or much bigger mission around the book itself. And then lockdown happened, like you said, and there was all these different Zooms going on, and I could hear all these things happening behind people's closed doors, relationships breaking down, relationships blossoming, you know, children being born, and all these different things that were happening during that time. And it just kind of poked me in so many different ways. But the thing that stood out the most was how many relationships really broke down, how much maybe violence there was behind these doors that we were completely unaware of. And, you know, how much it maybe increased during that time because people are not used to spending that amount of time with each other. Even if you're in a couple, you go to work, you come in, you have a few hours in the evening, you might plan something for the weekend. But now this is literally 24/7, round the clock. You're in your bubble and you have to stay there. And that kind of scared me to hear these numbers of violence that was increasing, not just towards women, but in general in relationships. I don't, you know. And then people started talking about, you know, not being able to meet up or go on dates and all these different things that we just took for granted. And I live alone. I was by myself. I saw my family during that time, you know, very sporadically. And I just started to write the book. After doing book 1 and book 2 with yourselves, I started this in 2023. I started writing Body Count. And then I put it down for a little while because there were parts of it that I wanted to be as open and honest and candid and truthful as I could be. Then I realized I hadn't, not healed per se, but I hadn't really dealt with what writing it all down and seeing it in print or reminding myself, you know, what I'd been through. I didn't really think how it would affect me. I then went into therapy for a year or so, because they say a year is kind of, you know, a good benchmark. Yeah. And my therapist was absolutely lovely. It was a free service. My therapist / counselor was doing her degree, and they need to accumulate hours of people they've helped, which is how I managed to get it for free. So I was like, yep, I don't mind being a test subject, if you want to call it that. But she didn't realize how good she was in that moment, or in those moments. So I was kind of so pleased that I'd been matched with this particular therapist. We'd been through similar things. She was able to resonate and relate to things that I was saying, but she just allowed me to talk. And I think that's what I needed, to speak to somebody without judgment, who wasn't going to criticize, who wasn't going to say, oh, you shouldn't have done it this way, you should have done it that way. She just literally allowed me to just pour my heart out. And then during 2023, during therapy, I stopped speaking to what I would say was a really good friend, and it affected me a lot, mentally, emotionally, even physically. I looked drained. And once I'd poured that out and started saying certain things, there was a lot of things I realized about myself that, you know, people use the word strong, and I don't use that word to describe myself anymore. I'm resilient. There's a huge difference, because I still have moments of weakness, but I'm resilient through all of it, through the strength, through the weakness, through the pain, through the gain. And I just keep on going, keep on going. And then my mum passed away in 2023. And that was in the midst of me writing the book. But that basically was the catalyst to get the book finished, because I realized, what's my legacy going to be? Not having children. What's my legacy going to be? Not sort of having a husband, if you know what I mean, or somebody who can speak about me once I'm no longer here. because that's kind of what we think of when we think of legacy. It's like, what are people going to say about me when I've gone? What impact have I had on the world? Oh, you know, I live through my children or through my grandchildren and through, do you know what I mean? So, and that's how adults or parents tend to think. And I always used to say to my mum, who were you before you was a parent? What did you used to like to do? You're not just mum. Do you know what I mean? You're also an independent woman who sacrificed a lot because of the fact that you had children. So she started doing things that she wouldn't normally have done. She started going on holiday, you know, getting involved in the church and going and doing her crocheting and her sewing and all these things she started to teach me or show me about herself that I maybe hadn't seen growing up. So I thought to myself, what's my legacy really going to be? It's not going to be filled with all the bad stuff, if you know what I mean. That's part of who I am, not just who I am. So I was like, let's get this book out. Let's get this first one out and see how I feel about it. And then I realized that publishing a book and having it out there for the masses, that was the beginning of me kind of building this legacy. Because once I'm gone, the book will still be here. And it kind of took this real weight of guilt and regret and all of these things, depression, all of that just lifted sort of immediately. I worked with somebody who I call my book confidence coach. Again, we're very similar, been through some stuff that's the same. But in regards to our relationships, or lack thereof, depending on how you look at it, we could really sort of, you know, chew the fat, if you want, you know, and really get down to the nitty gritty. And then I started speaking to other people before it was published, and they were like, oh, I'd want to read that. That sounds interesting. You're brave. And all these words started to come out of how people were describing me. And there were words that I actually liked. So I thought to myself, you know what? Let's get it out there. You know, it was a quiet release or a quiet publication because, again, there was a lot going on. And then because my mum had passed, I felt different about putting it out there because my biggest fear was her reading it, to be quite honest with you, because there were just some things you don't want your mum to know. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then, yeah. So I was kind of, it was a bitter pill to swallow, but it was like, get it out there. Because now the one person who means the most to you and whose, you know, criticism and judgment and feedback that you'll take is no longer with us as such. But I kind of felt a push, like this invisible push every now and then, as if to say, you've got to do it. You've got to do it. Don't be scared. I won't judge you. We won't criticize you. You need to tell your story. So yeah, it was a combination of things as to how, where I was compared to where I am now, if you know what I mean. But it was, it was a lot. I had to offload a lot. I had to get rid of a lot of pain. But now I'm reaping the benefits or gaining, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because we were just mentioning no pain, no gain. So yeah, all that pain has now transformed itself into gains in many different ways. So yeah, this book starts when I'm about 5-ish, and it's chronological, and it sort of explains, I wouldn't say just relationships, but my encounters with the male species. And this first book goes up to about 21, 22. So I'm just about to sort of start uni. So it's quite a big span of my life. And I've selected what I think is probably the most interesting reads or the most revealing reads in, you know, or people from that time, as to what happened to me, or not, I don't know how else to put that, really, to be honest with you. So yes, I wouldn't say it's a trigger warning, but there is going to be stuff in it that is going to be triggering for some people. But at the end of each chapter in this book, I put like a little synopsis, a little paragraph as to how I then coped with those things, or if they bothered me, to kind of lighten the load after somebody reading it. So they're not just left with that feeling of, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened to her. Oh my gosh, that. But it also gives them the opportunity to go, right, what I just read potentially has happened to me. And how has it impacted me? How did I cope with it? Or how am I coping with it? Because sometimes people don't get over it. Some people never forget. Some people just can't forgive or move past those, scenarios, those incidents, those situations, should we say. And so, so I've tried to make it sort of a self-healing read, as well as a bit of a short, sharp shock, to be quite honest with you.
I did say to people before I brought you on, and if you didn't listen, they're your fault. Because always at the beginning of the show with Shelley producer, they get told to put their seatbelt on. I said, I'm bringing on my final guest. I told them to either put on another seatbelt so they have tulsa, or whatever they need to do to strap themselves in, because this is going to be a one of them rides. Now, a few little questions for you before you carry on, Mrs. I see at the back there. It's a hard-hitting story, but you do feel like you are, what's that say?
In a safe space.
Space. It's difficult to explain. It would have been lovely, actually, because this is just how things work. There was a lady on at the beginning of the show called Yasmin, who is a director, a writer, director, all this sort of stuff. And she was here a couple of years ago with a play, and she's bringing another play to Luton next week.
Oh.
It's called Incarcerating Eve.
And
you would need to be there.
Yeah.
If I was what have you in that, it's not an if or a but or a thing in that, you would need to be there. I personally would also have you. They've got a panel afterwards. That's already, they've sorted all of that already. But in my mind, I'm thinking, and from what you've written, as in like there, I personally would even have you as in on a stool, personally. But I think they've just got it's organisations and what do they call them? Service providers, as such. But from what's going to be shown and kind of your book, there's so much kind of in that. I think if you could, but I don't know, you'd probably be working because it's not even in the evening, it's in the day. It's 2:30 till 4:30.
What day is it?
Thursday, the 12th.
Yeah, I've got
at the library.
They could miss me for a day.
This is another one. It would be like, yes, you needed to be there. So I'll make sure, because we've got all the information that she is actually the writer and director. And she's waiting for Shelley and I. I said, I'm going to squeeze you like anything when I see you. And she's like, oh, but anyway, let's put that aside for a moment. But that is just something that we've spoken about today, and nothing gets planned on my show. It's just whoever can, whatever. And that just threads into. So all I can see, your backdrop there, it just says body count.
Yeah.
There's I told them for strap up. If they don't, that's their business. I won them more than once. That there must be more to the title than just body count.
There is. That's the main title. So that's the big bold one that you see. Yes. Subtitle. Okay, be prepared. And this is how I used to describe myself, believe it or not. So this is why.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That's why I thought. Let me just slide that in there
just
first.
Drop that as an.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry,
so the subtitle is More Than a Walking Vagina.
They're not going like, what the hell did she say there?
Mm-hmm.
Body count. More than a walking vagina. And you know what? I don't think you're alone. And this is why it's so important for us to talk. Because it's like, that's what I call myself. Well, that's what I've said about myself. I ain't telling anybody.
Yeah.
But that's what you've done.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even share that with my best friend, but that's what I say about myself.
Yeah.
But that's what you've done.
I had to be really honest. If I'm going to write it from my perspective, if that makes sense, and really put it out there that, you know, low self-worth, low self-esteem, you know, depression, relationships are failing, who's the problem, who's to blame, accountability, you know, acceptability, just, you know what I mean? Like, and that's basically where I was for a very long time. I didn't think I was attractive or pretty. I didn't think that my body was banging, you know, and, you know, all that sort of stuff. I didn't think, like, I looked like an 11-year-old, like underdeveloped. And that's what I used to think of myself. It's like, how can men think of me of being sexy? Or how can men think of me of being, like, they must want something. But because nobody, I say this, but yeah, because nobody ever said, as in the guys that I was seeing or dating or living with or whatever, they never really showed me anything other than the object that it is that I was. Nobody appreciated my mind. Nobody appreciated my conversation. Nobody appreciated, you know, my cooking or my cleaning or just my presence as an actual human being, let alone a woman. And that's what I used to think about myself. I used to think, like, you'll like me more if I give you my most treasured part of my body. And how wrong I was, do you know what I mean? To a certain extent. But yeah, that's pretty much what it boils down to. It was just, yeah, I didn't think anything of myself. I belittled myself. I made myself small to make other people feel better about themselves. I dimmed my own light. I literally switched it off at one point because I didn't even like looking at myself. Do you know what I mean? That's really what it boils down to. Is we talk about self-love and all, you know, all this being selfless and selfish and all these different words that we use. And it's like, are we really, truly living in darkness, for want of a better expression, which is where I kind of was. I just had this cloud over me for many, 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 many years because I didn't like looking at myself. I dressed down, if that makes sense. I wouldn't wear anything revealing. I thought being modest and carrying myself a certain way would attract the right man and all. And then I realized that it doesn't matter what I've got on, to be quite honest with you. It didn't matter where I was or where I met guys, or none of that stuff even mattered, you know, because I just made some really poor choices purely on the basis that I was a broken human being. I was a broken woman. I hadn't delved into all that dark stuff, as they call it, the shadow work. You know, I hadn't looked at myself in the mirror for a really long time, like proper just eye to eye. And then, like I said, it got to a stage where it was almost detrimental, you know, not wanting to be here anymore. Life has got to be better than this. And I was living kind of for men, to a certain. I wasn't living for me. I was doing for them. I was always at their beck and call. Like I said, just dimming my own light, not even knowing who I really was. And I think that's what it boils down to a lot of the time, is that, you know, they say you shouldn't run before you can walk. And when I have feelings for somebody, or when I thought somebody liked me, I'm all in. Like, yeah, let's live together. Let's do this. And there was no pacing of getting to know that person. And my mum would always say that, you know, oh, you're moving a bit quick. Nah, it's fine, mum. And kind of convincing her, but convincing myself at the same time that everything is going to be okay. And it really wasn't. And that's because I hadn't done the work about the stuff that affected me when I was a lot younger. And I think that's what a lot of this boils down to, is me now trying to sort of say to younger women, save yourself where possible. No judgment. You know, I'm not putting it out there and saying you have to be pure and you have to be a virgin and we all want to experiment. It's a part of life. Do you know what I mean? It's like we all want to feel loved. But you really have to learn to love yourself first. It really, it's not something that you get taught really, or something that you get shown even. Because I think about the women who were around me that I grew up, you know, mum, aunts, grandma, female cousins, older siblings, that sort of thing. Even friends, girlfriend from school. And it's like, we really didn't know what we were doing. We were just out here doing what we thought society required of us to a certain extent, and just losing ourselves. Like, oh, I want to be an adult. No, I don't actually, because I'm an adult now. I want to be 15 again, because adulting's hard. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you don't realize that you appreciate that stuff that you were doing when you were younger. You know, the innocent stuff that you were doing, the having fun. And a lot of us want to race into this adulthood thing, and we don't need to. They say that life is short. Life is only short if you're not enjoying it. Life is only short if you're not happy, when you don't actually appreciate each given day, you know, and making the most of that day in that moment, making memories, happy memories, creating that legacy, all of that type of stuff. This never came to me until I was like in my late 30s, early 40s. And by then I was kind of written off by society, to be quite honest. Well, not society, should we say. Let's keep it real. I was written off by men by that point. Do you know what I mean? And then this whole conversation around body count, it just kept on coming up, and I kept on hearing men talk about it all the time. And I never really hear women just speaking up and going, yeah, and what? I've lived. I'm nearly 50, for crying out loud. What do you expect? And furthermore, who's helping me add to my numbers? It's you lot, innit? Do you know? So I'm not justifying it, not by any means, because I was out there looking for love. I was out there looking for relationships. I was out there looking to have a child, potentially get married, all that stuff. So every time I got it wrong, I'd dust myself off and try again. And then it would go wrong, and I'd dust myself off and I'd try again. But at no point did I kind of stop and go, oh, hang on a minute. Yeah. I'm broken. I think I'm a bit of a magnet, because I seem to be attracting broken people as well. So not just women who have to do the work. It's also men who have to do the work as well, to fix themselves to a certain extent. Do you know what I mean? We're not all going to be, you know, nurturing and maternal towards the man that we're with. That's what your mum was for. You know, I'm not here to replace that woman. And that's a lot of what it is as well, is that I got a lot of love, a lot of nurturing from my mum. But my dad, on the other hand, not so much. Do you know what I mean? And then even years went by, and me and him had a really serious conversation. I was like, do you know what? I'm not going to lie to you, Dad. You're a bit of a shit husband, didn't you? Like, because my mum and dad were married. Like, you're pretty rubbish at that. You know, you're not great at being a dad either. But as a man to his friends, he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. You know, he fixed cars. He was always there for them. They couldn't say a bad word about him. And then I had to kind of go back a step further and kind of go, did Granddad ever say he loved you, Dad? Or give you a hug? Or give you any nurturing? So I realized that this generational learnt behavior goes a long way back where the men in my particular family are concerned, where they just weren't shown love, or they just weren't shown nurturing. So they didn't know how to show it, not even to themselves, let alone to anybody outside of them. You know, and then, there was stuff that my mum revealed to me later in life that I kind of knew deep down inside. You can kind of feel certain things even without the words. And that was why I wrote the book. The book wasn't just for me. It wasn't just about kind of putting my personal, you know, business or story out there. It's because I know that there were so many women around me who would never talk about it, who have been through similar, if not the same situations. Mm-hmm. And that's what I wanted to do, is just open up this conversation. Like, let's have a hard conversation. And it's not to judge. It's not to rank each other. It's not to go, well, my number's higher than yours, or my number's lower, so I'm better than you. It's not about that. It's about, let's just be honest about where we are in society today, how young people are treating each other, and where they learn it from. Sounds harsh, but it's the truth.
Well, you already know, you get me back. I just listening to you, intentionally just listening to you, because I could have, I'm like, just listen. And I'm like visualizing year 10, year 11, schools, uni, I would have you in.
Yeah. I've got an appointment with my local university just because the book is for over 18. So I've got to be very cautious.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the book itself is for over 18s because it is quite graphic. And I didn't want to. However, there's a conversation to be had with adults amongst themselves where this can be simplified or open up the conversation that you have with your children or the younger women around you. So it can be adapted in that sense, but it's more to do with the fact that I want young girls, women, young women, and women of all ages, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, who you've got women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s that still haven't learned that you don't have to give all of yourself in order to feel loved, or in order to, it's really starts with self, you know, a lot of the time. But yeah, it's more about, let's really have a look at where we are today. You know, we've got a lot of single mums out there. We've got men who are not stepping up, and they get interfered with, should we say, for want of a better word, at an early age. And we've kind of put certain things that are kind of the norm. You know, when I hear boys talking, oh yeah, my first girlfriend was X amount of years older than me and she made me do this, but I didn't know if I really wanted to. And all of these types of conversations need to be had in that sense, because it's not just happening to girls, it's happening to boys as well. But we really do need to look at these cultural behaviors, perhaps, that we you know, kind of project and put out there, and the way we've been living. It's not okay. Do you know what I mean? Even when I go back to, you know, the West Indies and that sort of thing, you've got certain songs that they're listening to, and that's a big influence. They've got the way people are dressing as a big influence. Now, the dancing is another category altogether, but we're very hypersexualized from a very young age without even realizing it. And, you know, I remember, you know, being at home and dancing to soca. Yes, I'm in the privacy of my own home around my family. But again, you have to be told that maybe not conducting yourself like this out a road is going to be seen as okay. Do you know what I mean? To a certain extent. So I just remember certain conversations I had with family members and, you know, that sort of thing, when we'd be out and about, oh, you can really dance. Yeah, wine your waist. And sometimes we need to just rein that back in a little bit and let children be children. You know, let them really appreciate that innocence, keep them as sheltered and innocent as possible.
As much as with everything that's out there.
That's it. Yeah.
I didn't realise it was 18.
Yeah, just because it is as graphic as it is.
No,
hence
I'm not.
Why
I'm just
vocabulary.
Yeah, totally. But let's not be fooled. When I say let's not be fooled, we're not fooled. But I'm just saying, as in, like, my head is very much. The young people now be telling us stuff that we got curly hair anyway, don't make our hair curl. And I'm like, how the hell, they know more than we know. So I'm just, as in, like, my head is very much what you're saying, 18 plus, and obviously you got old. I'm like, younger ones, and especially, you know, there's this the big campaign now, violence against women and girls, and we're not forgetting the guys, but we're, you know, let's focus at them just for this moment now on the girls, as in, like, having that information, just the information you've shared already. There must be teachers and what have you out there. Am I kind of like, please comment. You don't mind people commenting, do you?
No, definitely not.
Yeah, comment in the chat, as in, like, I know it's 18 plus the book. But as in terms of if you're at a high school or you sort of like, no, is that potential content? I don't know what they're teaching, and I don't mean, I'm not being flippant, but I don't know. Is it PSE? I can't remember what they call it now.
PSHE, I think it's
something or other, whatever they, you know, and as in, is it just something generic that ain't helping, and that ain't sort of like for you as a woman to know you are more than your walking vagina? Please, come on now.
Yeah. So I have created a workshop that can be taken into the younger age groups.
Okay.
Yeah. So the book has, like I said, has been a catalyst for a lot of things. And that's my main kind of, not target audience, but that's my mission.
Is that an in-person, or is that online, or is that?
It can be a combination of both. I used to volunteer for a girls group. I don't know if they want me to name them in this context, but their age range was 8 to sort of 18, 19. And we had categories. And we used to have to be quite delicate with the younger age groups, although they had questions. So if they raised the question, we would then answer it as openly and honestly and as sensitively as possible, again, with their parents' consent. And that's the main thing that I'm parental guidance. That's why I say it's a good book for parents to read, not just, you know, mums, but dads. But then it opens up the conversation that you may want to have with your children. And there's certain questions you may want to ask them. You might start to notice they're using a language and certain vocabulary that is not used in the home, but it's indicators that they're knowing more than what you think, or they may have experienced something that you are unaware of. And that's how my mum and dad found out about what happened to me when I was younger. I came home and started talking about stuff, and they're looking at me going, whoa.
Something wrong here. This is big. I need you, purely because of time, because you're going to be back on, but I need you to, what do I need you to do? Tell us where, when, online book launch. I know it's the 22nd of Feb, but come on, throw it out there to the people.
Yes, so it's on Eventbrite. That's where ticket. So there is a paid ticket where you get yourself a goodie bag, get a signed book, and some other little bits and pieces. But there's also general admission, which is free. I have put an age restriction on it. It doesn't stop children from being in the room, but it's a bit late. It's a Sunday, and it's 8 till 10. So it's Sunday, the 22nd of February, 2026, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And if you type into Eventbrite, Natural Mystic Presents Body Count, it will bring it straight up. Purely because nobody spells Natural Mystic the way that I do, so I'm completely unique. But I wanted to make it really easy to find, you know, in that sense, so people wouldn't have to struggle. I can always drop links in comments as well. So it's there for everybody. But yeah, it's going to be a very... Shelley's
posting it on, it's already on the ticker. We'll be sharing that, but you know, as he posts.
Yeah. So it's just going to be an open and honest conversation, to be quite honest. If it's going to be slightly humorous, you know, there's going to be a poll, which is anonymous, so nobody else will be able to see your answers. I won't be able to see who's voted in the questions. I'll just be able to see the numbers that have voted. All right. So I want everyone to feel comfortable. I want everyone to, you know, just be prepared to have a very open, candid conversation, you know, looking at archetypes of women. Have you ever been asked the question what your body count is? Have you had the need to ask somebody? Who does
Producer
it matter?
Shelley, come on. She tried to bleed and hide away. Normally she's on. She's obviously trying to hide for some reason. She thinks she's clever. Oh, I was just making a cup of tea. No, she ain't. 22nd of Feb, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
There's no reason. Guys, we will... Did you hear me?
Hop along, TJ needed to go out into the garden.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, I think when you were saying about it being an 18, it's kind of the content of what it is because it's in your voice and using your words. That's what makes it the 18. You've got to be. It's not graphic in what is put. It's just the actual, the way that it's actually explained.
Yeah.
So that's where the 18 comes from. For what you actually learn about that itself in the way that it's put, and the descriptive part of it is not. It's just how it's then explained.
Yeah.
But it's as I said earlier, it's because you explain it, and then you kind of, as you say, you do like a roundup on the end of the chapter, end of the episode. That it actually feels safe. You've put the details in, but you've also then reflected back on it straight away. Yeah. And it's then right, okay, so we know you're okay. Yeah, you're okay. Yeah. And you carry on reading. It just makes it safe for you to read it. It's not just this is what happened. Oh, and the next time this is what happened. Yeah. It's Yeah.
I was very I was quietly confident in if that makes sense, about people will be reminded. Like I said, they may be triggered. It may talk about trauma and that sort of thing. But I wanted it delivered in such a way that people, like Shelley said, knew that I was okay, and them reading it, I know that they'll be okay. Yeah. But I think the best part of the book, in all honesty, I'll just put this out there, it finishes on a cliffhanger, folks. Now, just like your great big silver screen movies, and you kind of wait, oh my gosh, where's part 2? Where's part 2? Yeah, there is a part 2, and there's a part 3.
Reel them in, sis. Reel them in.
That's right. That's exactly it.
But there might have been some words said out loud.
Yeah, and I'm quite surprised that the reviews have been as clean as they have been, in the sense that the few people that I've spoken to that have come back to me and gone, so have you written part 2 yet? And I'm like, yeah, of course I've written part 2. Well, can I have it? No. Not yet. Not yet. But yeah, there's other plans. Do you know what I mean? It's not just a book. I want it to be a stage play. And this takes us back to, again, life in a lockdown, the Zooms where I was introduced to our acting world and theatre world, because we've got so many different members within that first book that we all tap into each other. As the saying was at the time, we're all in different ships, but we're all sailing this kind of rough sea together type thing and experiencing similar things. So magic has happened from being part of this sort of Simply Deez family collective. And we had the shop. Like, there's just so many things that we've done.
You know, when you start listing down, you're going like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Every time I look at the banner, and I'm going like, we've done all of those things. It's absolutely crazy, and literally. But
this is the best part about collaboration. I think that's the word for 2026. That it's all very well doing stuff on your own.
Yep.
But if you've got a supportive group of people, even if it's just 2 people in your corner, sort of thing, championing you, celebrating you, reminding you to celebrate yourself, pat yourself on the back, cheer for yourself. But when you've got 24, 25, 30, 40 odd women, let alone the guys that have supported me, along the way. And, just to leave it on a funny note, because I'm not sure who's going to watch this, but if any of the exes are watching, I'm changing names and locations and that, but there are a couple of you who keep adding to your chapter, hence why book 2 hasn't come out yet. So, but in a way that I'm abstinent and celibate, so not in that way, but they're still adding to their chapter. So could you please just stop now? Yeah, because the book isn't about you. The book is about me. All right.
Yes. On that note, natural mystique. Thank you, thank you, thank you. On so many levels. On so many levels. We're all here for a reason and a purpose, and we go through things in life, and sometimes we're like, what's that about, and why, or why me, or why? And when you find the why, and then run with that, and then amazing stuff follows. So thank you. We will
you saying about the banner, and I don't believe we've done all of that. I think what happens is that one of us, I think with all of our group, we're all very much that we are collaborating, we are in each other's corners, we are helping each other along, because we all have got the same thing of, I wish I could. And then it turns into, well, what's the worst that can happen? And I think we are all like that, with sort of, whether it be business, whether it be like doing this, the plays, doing something completely different to what you would think that you'd be doing. It's like, okay, what's the worst that can happen? Just have a go. Yeah. And you've got everyone
just thriving.
Yeah.
I think that was that probably from YouTube. Was that V that had put that?
Yes, that was V.
Or the love hearts and bits and pieces and stuff like that. I love it. I absolutely love it. Before you go, Natural Mystique, pick a number, 4 or 2.
4 was what came to mind earlier. We'll stick with that. 4.
I swear, all I've done is what have you. Don't know if you can see that, guys.
Don't let your...
You see that?
Yeah.
In it?
Yeah.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Yeah.
Mic drop. Bang.
That's it. We'll leave that there.
Thank you so much. Shell, do me a favour, because I know I'll forget. Can you send Leesh details of incarcerating Eve?
Yes.
We'll share it on our stuff. But send it to her now, so that way then she can look and see whether or not that's viable.
I'm booking the day off. I'm booking it. That's it. I've got annual leave left to use. Like that's what I said. They can do without me for a day. I'm literally going in tomorrow morning, and I'm like, yep, I need the 12th off, please. Thank you very much. Yep.
This is how we do it.
Yeah. I'm actually quite. As soon as you said it, I was like, ooh, because it really resonates with book 2. But we'll just leave that there. We'll just leave it.
OMG. Tell you what, if you go back to the very first guest is Yasmin, and she's a writer producer of and you are going to be, do you see how things work?
Yeah.
We've actually come full circle at the minute, yeah.
Didn't I say that, Shell? I said,
right at the beginning,
none of it's intentional. And when I'm like going, I didn't realise fully what the play was going to be. And then I'm going, I've got Leesh coming on at the end. I'm like, people aren't going to believe this. They are not going to believe this. But it just...
Nothing's planned, ever.
Yeah, look, do you know what? It's a good job she's where she's at. It's a good job she's where she's at.
I'm just reading what Trisha's put in the comments. Like, that is... See, everyone's with the acronyms now. I love it. I've just started plant seeds. That's what it's about. And then everyone waters them. So you can have a fruitful bloom.
Oh. For those that are watching and thinking, none of this is planned, none of this is scripted, it's not a joke, and it does that. That's what we do. For now, young lady, thank you so much for taking time out, and because I think you'll see the title and you'll be like, and then you need to, for me, you need to see you, hear from you. And it's like, I need to get it. I need to get it. And
thank you so much.
My brain has gone like this now. I'm going like, because make sure you bring some, by the way, because those organisations are going to be there. Shell, and like the azaleas, and that's what do they do they call them working? I don't know what they call. I don't call them prostitutes anymore. I'm sorry, working women, but women that just need to. They're more, so much more, so much more, but you don't know it and don't think.
There's even a story in book 2 about the time I actually met someone who is a working girl.
Do you know what But we will talk, Leesh. Shall I tell you? I'll just throw something in there, and Shell knows this. We kind of like, we're in a position. We you know, obviously we put out the 2 books, and that great. It was never about like, oh, you know, we did sales wise, you know, they sold really well and all the rest of it and that. But we actually, which a lot of people don't know, we donated books to hospice. They went into hospitals. We gave to I think it was Stepping Stones. I think I did Azalea, which are women organisations, some of what we're talking about now. And it's just a case of like, well, do you know what? You might be in there, and you know what? You pick up and you might read a chapter that's just going to give you a bit of hope.
Yeah.
That might just be the little bit of hope that you need to just get you through, whether it be that day, that week, that moment. And I can see how your book can be used in so many different.
And there is some support stuff at the back of every book, because obviously I don't just leave people hanging if you know they're feeling like they need. So yeah, I've got a list of organisations and support in the back of every book as well. So yeah, I've made sure that it's, like I said, it's not just self-healing, but there's like I said, there's a lot. I won't go into it. We will leave it there. But yeah, be prepared, folks. Be prepared. Like, it's a quick read. It's 100 and odd pages. Do you know what I mean? Most people, I'll put that there. Most people have read it in sort of a day, 2 days, 4 hours. I think one of them said 2 hours with somebody else because they couldn't put it down. So yeah, that's it. But yeah, thank you to all who have supported so far. Hope to see some of you at the launch on the 22nd. And yeah, don't be scared to approach me. Do you know what I mean? I'm always available, whether it be via Messenger or whatever means, or even in the chat. I'll go through and have a look at comments and that sort of thing. But yeah, just tag me or whatever it is that you need to do in order to get my attention, and I'm sure messages and comments will be passed on. And like I said, there's workshops, there's going to be support groups. I'm working with some other women as well, because we've all been through some stuff, but we've learned our lessons, and it's now to try and make these visions our mission. That's my new.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Excellent. Well done, sis. Well done. Do you know what? We Shell, don't you feel privileged to be kind of like, we're kind of part of the journey, aren't we?
Yeah.
Hey, are we getting royalties from this book, Shell? What we say? We getting... Oh, bless you.
You helped me start the journey. Do you know what I mean? One of you had a couple of oars, and somebody else had a bit of a boat over there, and we put it all together, and off I went. That's
what we all kind of do, and different people have kind of, just kind of, and that's what we do. And our job is to then, exactly what you're doing now is, and then whoever else is, their job is to, and we just keep the ripple going. Yay!
Love it.
All right, we're going to let you go. We're going to let you go now, and me and Shell are just going to just wrap up. Thanks so much, Leesh. Catch up soon, darling. Hopefully see you next week. Yeah. Oh my God. Have I just dreamt or what's gone on tonight?
I think so, yeah.
I did say strap up again, didn't I?
You did. Yeah, we did say right at the beginning, and you said at the end.
Yeah, I said put 2. Okay, there's one left. There's one left tonight. And that's so whatever that word is. Don't know if you can see that. There is always a reminder to everybody, there is always something to be grateful for.
Yes.
Even in the dark, there's always something to be grateful for. Guys, it is now 17 minutes past the hour 10. Don't know how Shell's still on. She's double every thingy that she's double kind of like, she's got the daytime show. Do you know what? She's queen of the show. She really is. She loves it. She loves it. She loves it. Before we disappear tonight, just massive thanks, props, all that jazz to all of our guests. So we had Yasmin. Don't forget, next week, Thursday, 12th of Feb, Incarcerating Eve. That looks absolutely incredible. So if you can, see Leesh, she's booking the day off. Get yourself there. We also had Heather Phillips, Leading Light. That book is now out on Amazon. We had Doctor, because he's honouring Gilroy Brown, Redeemed. This book, Redeemed, and we naturally Natural Mystique, Body Count. You're more than a walking vagina. So when I see you, you know I'm just going to say that to you. You're more, Shell. You're more.
Oh yeah, you're more. Yeah.
We're going to tell our
husbands we're slang more. Now.
We're more. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be, but we're more. And obviously, as always, Tishy Thomas with her just words that really, they always hit, doesn't matter where you're at. There's always something that will just hit you at the right. Many thanks to all those who have tuned in, contributed. Trish, V, massive thanks to the wonderful Marcia Spence, publisher. Thank you so much. In the house, Sherry Titmers, producer, director, show extraordinaire, for keeping it all. We have I know, coming up. We, Simply Deez, International Women's Day is the 8th of March. We have our own intimate little soiree, afternoon soiree. 22nd of March, we did this last year. I think we've got something like 22 tickets left, Shell. People are going like, you're having a laugh. Okay. I said this last time, within a couple of weeks, they were gone. We were like, rah. We're not putting on more tickets, so don't be thinking, we said this last year and we didn't, and we won't be doing it again. Yeah, that's why we made sure it's intimate for a reason. Tickets are £20. And all that information is there. If you missed it, get hold of us. We'll let you know. I believe, Shell will tell me, I think it's the 15th of March. Voices of Nubian Queen is back at the Library Theatre. More information will be on that. And I'm sure they'll be on the Simply Together show at some stage. Don't forget, Saturday, 28th of March, Milton Keynes. We have the Fibroids and Fibroids Hysterectomy and Beyond Conference. Bit of a tongue twister because I haven't got it written down. Big event. It's the last one. Oh, seriously. Veronica Ebanks. This is the 4th one, guys. This is the 4th one. Can you believe? And once again, absolutely amazing speakers. It's like, oh, it's not for me. Every time V puts on this conference and the speakers, the information, Shell's been, everything that's there, and it's like, I wish I'd have known that. How many times, or who has access to surgeons, consultants, oh my God, specialists in all this gynae field? Might do kind of, where? Tell me where you are literally there having a conversation with these people and asking the questions and getting real answers.
Yeah. And if you don't think it's for you, I mean, like 50% of the population, we will go through like a menopause, a change of some kind. All women go through all those different changes. So everyone's going to be affected. Every single person, male and female. So to go along to something like this, yeah, we did have a couple of males last time. That was nice having them in there, because you had them coming along, not only supporting like their partners, but they're also then there that they can then help their daughters, they help their daughter-in-laws,
and have that understanding.
They're actually going into work and helping people while they're at work. It's a lot of information that you'll actually get from something like this, and it's a long enough title, but you can't fit everything that you actually learn from it in there.
No, not at all. Not at all. So if you want more information, we've been sharing it. We've got the information. Tickets are £11.55. That's including the booking fee. So tickets are only £10. Let's keep it real. You want to access that information, and London or wherever you're at, you're paying over 50 quid to access this kind of information. And I tell you what, you ain't getting the specialists and consultants that V's got there. You are not getting that at all. At all. I am honoured to have the privilege to be hosting once again, and yeah, super excited. That is Saturday the 28th of March. Oh my gosh. And then in April 15th, somebody's doing a TEDx talk.
I kind of think I heard about that.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're going to find out more about that. I know. That's going to be in Library Theatre.
Will we have some kind of information coming soon as an announcement?
Well, yes, I have actually. Tickets are actually on sale now.
Yeah.
But yes, it's actually on social media. I have got that information. But yeah, so that's that. We, as in Simply Deez, told you we're going to have a busy year this year. 17th of October, confirmed, sixth form college. So all those authors that were on today, we hope to see you at the Black Bookcase. But we'll be back. And to be confirmed, very short. Shelley's going like, Jesus Christ, what else are we doing? To be confirmed, hopefully the end of this week, we are...
I know what's coming.
You do? She knows about this. She's pretending she don't know. Yeah, you do. Watch this space. Gotcha. Gotcha. You guys are like, what? Yeah. So we're having a good time. If you notice, we're collaborating with a lot of people. There's so many things that are going on, and people like going like, can we? We're like, depending on what it is, okay, that can work. We can incorporate that within our field, and you can see we support so many others. It's not just about what we do, it's others and how we can help in the community. You were at where were you? Venue 360, weren't you? This is one of her hats. She's got so many hats. I don't even know how many hats she's got. But
this is Rita's fault.
Yeah, volunteering for the Irish Forum. We've used the Irish Forum for, I don't know, probably about 8 or 9 years for the soirees and different other events that we've done. But Shelley and Rita, much love Rita, actually volunteered for the Irish Forum. So they had an event, didn't they?
Yeah, for St. Bridget's Day. So yeah, it's all to do with she's a patron saint of one of the patron saints in Ireland, and it's all kind of like to do with celebrating the Irish woman, if you like. So yeah, it was nice to have all the women together, and there were some men that came along as well. But if anyone knows the Venue 360, so like the Brace building, it was completely full, completely full. But yeah, it was a fantastic afternoon. They all had afternoon tea. There was quite a lot of wine that was coming out from the bar. So yeah, they did have a good time with a bit of live music. Yeah, so it was very good, very good. And yeah, the Irish Forum, it's strange because people don't realise how much the Irish Forum actually do. They are a registered centre for help for benefits, finding homes and like your any kind of the benefits that you're actually then on. So if you are Irish, but if you're not, but they're also then like to help for actually then setting it up that if you are Irish, that you can actually go and sort out your Irish passport with them. And they do a lot with the actual travelling community as well, Romani Gypsy travelling community. So they keep in contact with them. So they do health sessions with them, and they then do special events, sort of like Easter and Christmas with the kids. So there's a lot that the Irish Forum do that quite a lot of people don't realise.
Not aware.
It's not just that one building there and having the tea and chat and everything else that they do. And it's a lovely set of people that they've got there. All the people that work there, the volunteers that they've got there, and the people that come along as well. I mean, I've only been going for a little while because of Rita and driving her up and different things when she hasn't been feeling well. And now I'm an official volunteer for them. But yeah, they all know my name and they're all chatting and everything else. So yeah, feel so welcome there. But again, they're another one that is then there to help other people and help other organisations and be in with other organisations. And
they've helped us a lot.
Yeah.
They've helped and supported us a lot. So to Nolette and Nuala, thank you.
She actually had her 10-year anniversary.
I saw that,
10 years, yes. So that is amazing that's for her to be like the Irish one for 10 years. And she really has brought it on into something that's completely different to what it was before. Yeah.
Amazing. So you will be back next Tuesday on the Simply Together show.
Yes.
Next Thursday, we will be back with our Zoom, community Zoom. And we go on. So guys, that's it for tonight. We had an hour. You've had 3.5 hours of our time today. Three and a half hours. Are we going to get any of that back? No, we're not.
No. Can I go get my cocoa now?
Yeah, she'll get her cocoa, everybody. And let me see if I can get some ginger
and while
wine.
you've been sat there, have you actually realised it's been snowing outside? Only a tiny bit, but we have had snow. It's serious.
God is good all the time.
The small little fluttering, it might be on your car, it might freeze overnight, but yeah.
Oh my giddy aunt. Right. It was cold.
It was cold.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please, please, please share. There is no way, I don't care who you are, there's no way throughout this whole entire 3 hours and 17 minutes that there isn't something that somebody you know is going to say, oh my God. And yeah, I'm going to try and and if Leesh comes on next week, connect her with Yasmin. I could see something. I could just see it. And her being an actress as well.
Yes. Yeah, if it's not her own thing, she's going to be doing something with her. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, that's what it's all
about.
I'll
turn the music up because I've been playing it in the background and now it's Bob Marley, so.
Oh, is it? Go on then. Can't hear it.
Cannot.
Yes. See, we don't muck about.
No, it's a bit was planned again.
Look at us. What better things to be doing than dancing on a Tuesday night? Like what, Dee Bailey? Like what? Shimmy, 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 shimmy. All right, guys. Sending all our love. And for those that are not 100% not well or have got loved ones that aren't, sending all our love and blessings. All right, for now. Catch you later.
No.